Where we come from, we each fight for loyalty, for freedom, or perhaps enlightenment. But not here. Here we cast aside our disparate beliefs, our barriers and preconceived notions, and band together as a global force to engage in the largest competitive battles the world has ever seen. We are the squads, the platoons, the empires and servers, full of players coordinating a complex game of strategy and tactics. This is where combined arms happens. This is where war comes to play. This is ServerSmash.
Hello everyone, my name is Farah, I'll be your main cast today, and this is ServerSmash. Today I am joined by, or with...
Tricky Shrek, the man with about 5 names, due to all my different accounts.
So here we are, let me just get some stuff going. There we go, let's get back to music. Right, so I hope you enjoyed Nanite Ned, because I love Nanite Ned. I found him as one of the videos. I was just looking for the pregame show. But today, as we're getting on topic here, because we've got a lot to cover in the next 14 minutes. Today is ServerSmash 56, I believe. It is Emerald versus Briggs, and this is the first semi-final game. Today we are on, and I just bring up the map, we're on Amerish. And victory score points are disabled. So, here we are on Amerish. The factions today, we have Emerald playing as the new conglomerate. And I wonder if this is a bit too loud, the music. Hold on. Anyway, so we've got Emerald playing as the NC from the southern warp gate. And we have Briggs playing on the eastern warp gate as the Vanu Sovereignty. Because Emerald was the seeded team here today, it means that they got to pick both the continent, and in this case they picked Amerish, and a choice of between faction or warp gate, and they elected to choose the new conglomerate, which means Briggs chose the eastern warp gate and then chose the Vanu Sovereignty instead of Terran Republic. So here we are on Amerish. What do you think about those choices, Strick? I'm just going to call you Charmander like I did last week, last time. So, right, you're Emerald, you've picked NC, pretty much air hammer and shotguns.
Yeah, I think that's
why the southern warp gate? Do you feel the southern warp gate stronger? Do you think there's a reason behind the choice of what Emerald picked here today?
I think historically on Amerish, people on the southern warp gate have generally won more than the northern warp gate, on this map at least. Obviously it's changed. It used to be split down the middle.
Crux headquarters easier to take, isn't it?
Crux, yeah. I think Crux is a really weak spot for the northern warp gate. And also I think it's just better for split peak in those areas too. I think you have better access. The only real weakness is your far western lane, because you can get pushed down there. I think one server, I think that was Briggs Cobalt maybe, they lost because they got pushed really hard in that far west lane. And
yes, yeah.
They got out of control.
That'd be how we...
You generally see the southern warp gate put a lot of emphasis on the Crux area, whilst kind of keeping the Bastion under control. And as long as that happens, as long as the Bastion, even if it forces the enemy, if they keep that controlled and contained, and then just push Crux headquarters, they generally do really well. But with the new changes to point holds on 3-point bases, maybe Bastion will make the northern warp a bit stronger. I'm not too sure about that.
Are you in game and okay, or are you still having problems with Elpscam?
No, my account is got problems. Use no passwords.
Well, I'll talk about the map. Why don't you jump down to the ref channel and see if Justicia can help you out, okay? So, while he's getting help from Obs issues, you'll do notice that the main challenge today, I'm on Planetside Battles 1, Chara there is going to be on Planetside Battles 2, there's going to be a Briggs stream of some sorts, but you see that in TeamSpeak, Squid and Kamikaze are doing a thing. That's kind of, I don't know where that is actually, find that on Twitch yourself. But anyway, as far as today's game is concerned, important things to issue is we're on Amerish, and of our maps, this is probably one of the more fun, balanced ones. I think it's one that Emerald favours or prefers to play more than anything else, hence why they picked it. But starting off in the east, we have subterranean analysis, horrendous base to attack, but because it's neutral, anyone can capture. However, there are new capture mechanics here, guys. Capture mechanics are not just large outposts that can be flipped that are third faction, i.e. neutral, at the last minute. any base now can be captured last minute. Now, subterranean analysis might not happen because it's so difficult to get into the base, but it's very important for other bases that, now that I think about it, Rockslide and Raven's Landing can't be messed with, but Lithcorp Central perhaps. So I'll come back and explain. Subterranean analysis, there's not really good places for the Sunders. And do let me know if I'm too quiet on stream, guys. I'll see you in the chat in 2 minutes from now, and I'll boost the microphone for you. So as I was saying, subterranean analysis, Sunders are not very safe. It's a lot of control in the outside area, but once you get the base, then all of a sudden it's just so hard to take. The lane just doesn't really move. Whoever takes the base has the options to push. Moving to Split Peak Pass, 4 points. It is a again, neutral base, it can be flipped more easily, so a well-timed drop in Split Peak Pass, considering the open nature of the capture points, means that you can take this and steal the base at the last second, which we saw Emerald do the last time here on Amerish. Rockslide Outlook and Raven's Landing, they're uncontestable bases, but they can be interdicted theoretically. We have seen interdiction from the Southern Warp Gate on Rockslide Outlook, so that may or may not be a thing today. We'll have to wait and see what goes on. Both of these bases will then permit access to the Ascent and to Lithcorp Central. Now, so long as one faction server gets their a link, the Ascent could also be just like Split Peak Pass and be stolen, although it's because the two capture points on the outside are exposed to the open, whereas the third one's inside the cave, kind of core combat-ish. Lithcorp Central, however, is a base that opens up after Rockslide and Raven's Landing, and that is another base that theoretically can be stolen at the last moment because of the capture changes. And then Bastion is also another base that can be stolen at the last moment, and we did see these bases kind of go for a very long period of time. Hello, you got everything working again?
Yeah, I've got everything sorted out.
Okay, so I might have to boost your microphone again. I'm just see what the volume is between the two of us. The chat can tell us in a sec. Anyway, I was just elaborating on the new capture mechanics, that all small bases can also be captured on top of the large ones.
Bases now too, right?
And then the other thing that I found out was that on a multi-point base, for example, the Bastion, let's say hypothetically the Vanu Sovereignty captures the Bastion, and the new conglomerate from Deep Core Geolab just wanted to interdict a Bastion to make sure that Deep Core Geolab couldn't be counter-capped. Normally you'd only have to hold one capture point on the Bastion, and then the enemy team couldn't make progressions. You'd need to have the base fully secured and all the capture points. That's changed now. Now, very importantly, that holding one capture point isn't enough. You need to actually have the timer ticking down or not fully resecured. If the base is fully resecured, i.e. you own 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 4, that type of thing, or even 2 out of 2, so long as the clock's not ticking down, you can progress to the next base. That's a big difference. Which you discovered that last time, right, when you were playing in the previous game?
Yeah, we were affected by that in the last game. It's a bit annoying. Basically, it means you always have to have it ticking down. So 3-point bases not so forgiving on the attacker anymore, because you have to keep flipping 2 points, rather than just being able to hold that 1 point hold room and have the base be basically second out of action. They're kind of a bit stronger points to attack from now. For example, like on the Bastion, have like the point that's really far to the south. You could just only have one guy sit on there, then bounce them around the points. Now you have to get time on the cap, so you have to have 2 held. It puts a lot more emphasis on the attackers being able to maneuver.
Right, so let's see, from your point of view, let's say you're thinking from Briggs, how are you going to do your opening play? What's going to be your motivation? You need to get Rockslide flipping and going for the Ascent, but this Split Peak Pass and the Ascent are both bases, including the Bastion, that can realistically be interdicted at a point in time of your choosing. So you don't necessarily need to commit forces there immediately. The fights that are going to be important are going to be on the flanks. The Deserted Mineshaft into Soltech charging and the Silver Valley, Subterranean Analysis and Zealous Northgate, they're important flanks. I mean, like I said, if you were Briggs, how would you go about this?
With the new 1-point bases, it gets even more complicated, right? Because now even they can get stolen, so it's going to put even more stress on the force command. With Rockslide Outlook, because it's no connections to the enemy, you can kind of forget about that, but it has been interdicted in the past. Really, I just send 3 or 4 units there to try and get on the point fast and just start ticking in case they do get interdicted. And then you really want to, with the Bastion and Split Peak, see how the enemy reacts, see where their forces get placed. But with the western lane, it's a lot of territory to be captured at. You could easily justify putting 2 platoons on there at the start, maybe. But with subterranean analysis, you have to flip the gens to get through. There's a 2-minute waiting timer on that, so subterranean analysis is basically out the game for 2 minutes. You might want to let them put their hand there and show how many forces going to send.
Is it 2 generators 1 minute each or 2 minutes each?
Yeah, you have to put both of them. They're both 1 minute each. But you have
right,
to both.
So it's kind of like a 6-minute base capture, even though the other team's trying to kind of mess with you. And if the other team comes in and takes it off you in the last 10 seconds, they steal the base. So you could let them hypothetically do all the work for you, get the base down to a 2-minute timer, which takes 4 minutes, and then you could dump a whole bunch of people and maybe take it.
Yeah, exactly. But the problem is with those bases is with split peak, it's kind of a wild card because not split peak, sorry, with subterranean. You can get sunderers inside and do the kind of fortification that we've seen other servers do, and everyone likes to do it. Briggs like to do it. And when you have the sunderers inside, it's a lot harder to take. They have that preparation time done. Like they can make it really, really worth your while to show your hand there, because if they see that, and they might send 6% forces there, so they outnumber you 60-40. But with those sunderers, you will still win that engagement because they're so strong. So it's another layer of depth for the commander to think about.
There's so much to take into, and this is just the opening play. What's going to be important after the opening play, and we'll talk here about Emerald in a sec. We've only got 2 or so minutes to go. Is once things have stabilised and your opening play is done and all the neutral territories captured, the most important thing here today is how much can you abuse, realistically speaking, the Sunderer, right? Or is there anything else here in terms of force multipliers? The Air Force, perhaps?
The Air Force, Amerish has a lot of anti-air nests around, but it's a very open map, which is pretty conductive to Air Force. I don't think this is the strongest map for air, but if they go dominant one side, it will cause a lot of problems. Especially because a few of these bases are quite easily abused by air. Split Peak, that's pretty controlled from the air. Even the Bastion, they will just destroy the spawns to make it impossible for you to attack.
Well, Air Force, allows you to attack bases like Crux headquarters, right? Not
exactly.
it all down.
I think Briggs are really going to want to push towards the Rexus firearms. I think that's the best play for the Eastern Warp Gate. There's not much territory you can push in for the east to the south, which is why Emerald probably chosen the south, where there's a lot of more vulnerable terrain for the south to push into, even on the eastern and western lanes.
Also, the tech plant, like a Macalla Auxiliary Combat and the Raxicum substation, both bases that can go off right away. If you lose the tech plant as Briggs being the eastern warp gate, that's you screwed. If you want
personally, I think
armor.
they'll commit very heavily to Raxicum substation at the start, just because it needs base locked down and it takes a lot of weight off the soldiers.
Sure. And I suppose now we'll mention here in the next 50 seconds, right? If you're at Emerald and you're playing from the south, are you playing heavily with the immediate adjacents? So maybe go subterranean analysis. Arax come into Macalla, hit Macalla extremely hard. Maybe go for deserted mineshaft in the western flanks. Basically, bases that you immediately have links to, with the contingency plan then to drop on bases as they get close to capture. The neutral ones.
Ideally, you always want to play like that. You always want to take the direct links first because they're the most vulnerable ones. If you take a direct link, if you're the first one to get capped and you get the timer taken down, that's already your one lane. You've got 3-4 minutes to go elsewhere. And
we'll be right back. I'm just going to play the last intro video and then we'll continue this just to be going. Get ready on the warp gate.
On our home servers, we claim allegiance to different factions, playing to measure individual skill, or the reputation of our outfits, or simply for the glory of battle itself. But we have longed for the spectacle and exhilaration of massive competition. Hundreds of players facing off on a level playing field to determine who will reign supreme. On this battlefield, players from around the globe stand together in their combined might as servers to participate in the ultimate expression of teamwork and the largest competitive events in gaming. The tactics from live server play will likely get you killed here. Organization and communication are key. Victory is seized by quick-thinking commanders and agile and creative squads. More than their individual skills, you must rely on your teammates to band together as a cohesive force to drive the enemy back. This is Planetside, the way it is meant to be played. Battles ServerSmash Tournament 2015.
Okay, perfect timing. 15 seconds to go. Are you on the VS Warp Gate?
I am indeed.
Excellent. Right, here we go, guys. This is it. Service. Oh, I need to get the
8,
audio working.
7, 6.
There's an NC at Iron Station.
4,
That's spooky.
3, 2, 1. Go, go, go. Match start. Good luck, everybody.
This is it. Game start. Here we go. ServerSmash semi-final number 1.
Elimination.
And I was just told right now in TeamSpeak what's going to happen from the Emerald point of view. So I won't mention it just yet. I'll just show it on camera. But they're going to hit one of the bases that we said they're going to hit right at the very beginning. It kind of makes obvious sense. I wonder if they'll stay in the...
huge VS Force going to Raxcom.
Oh man, really? Because I heard a little bird tell me that there's perhaps a big force going to Macalla.
Oh yeah. The PPA spam is real. There's Reavers and sides dropping up.
Oh guys, why are you dropping? Stay in the air!
Carnage.
This is the thing I always go at. It's like you
The
don't
military budget. They need to waste Reavers.
you don't need to bail immediately. All right, okay. So they got the flip on. The important thing is they got the flip. That's the thing. So Araxicom substation is safe, and the Macalla Ox is now under attack and ticking down. One of those bases where
point, though. They could push them out if they want.
well, they can, yeah. I mean, the next bit is stabilizing. Sunder perhaps on the kind of turret sections off to the west. Right, okay, we're going to go into the bubble and we're going to check the rest of the map, see what's going on elsewhere. Looks like the infantry with some rockets took out the anti-air turrets on the roof. In terms of the actual building itself, we have, and tell me if the combat audio is a little bit too low. My mic is pretty low, really? Oh, okay. Well, I'll fix it in a sec.
NC put on Subterranean. There's a lot of people there.
Oh wow, you're right. 2+.
112 on Bastion and Split Peak. That's how much ServerSmash has changed recently. Absolutely no one committed to either of those bases.
Ravens is going through. Oh, the interdiction, 2 squads plus on Rockslide Outlook, but it's still ticking down. No, yeah. So they need to leave now. Bastion, small numbers, really doesn't matter there at the moment. You can see there's relatively heavy numbers at the Soltech charging station, so but that is working in Briggs' favour. At Subterranean Analysis, you're right, big pop there for Emerald, but obviously they're waiting for the shields to go down, which is why we haven't seen anything kick off. Split Peak Pass. Nobody, unless it's balanced cap points, which I guess I'll go check in a second because we're watching the rest of the Macalla Auxiliary compound here. Hey guys, just shout out on Twitch chat, 'cause I've got it open and I am watching it, although you're 2 minutes behind. Just give me a heads up. Am I too quiet? Is Char too quiet? Is the battle audio too quiet? And I'll tweak it as necessary.
Huge max crash now going on this.
Oh, that's it, cap points going down.
Yeah, Briggs have got this now. But there's an NC Sunderer coming in from the west.
Oh, that's highly exposed, and he's a blockade Sunday. I can see what he's trying to do, maybe to...
It's kind of.
I had no idea you could drive through there.
Yeah,
really?
That's ridiculous, yeah.
I had no idea you could drive through there.
They're perfect Sunderer-sized boxes.
Gosh, you learn things every day. Okay, then there you go. Right, okay, I'm going to have a quick peek at Split Peak Pass, see what's going on with the cap points. No, it's just 1 cap point's been flipped. It's not actually ticking.
Wow.
Because yeah, okay, well, there you go. Oh wow, but it's Delta. Check out Delta. It's the same thing as last time. It's the mass. It's a million Sunders. We've seen this before. Huge Sunday play on Delta just to make sure. I can't help but feel. Are you even doing anything? All right, maybe the population's increasing now with the intention that we're going to start ticking it down quickly, but. I don't know, it seems like dead pop. I mean, you can also check Subterranean Analysis.
Two
Briggs has turned up.
Subterranean. 2 Sunderers for Emerald. Like I said, it's really strong if you get those inside there.
Oh, right.
About trying to steal it.
We'll go over to Subterranean Analysis because it's probably the only time we'll actually see active fighting at this base. Well, they can't deploy them, so they're only battle Sunders, right? So we got a deployed external.
Go northeast and look at
the wow.
force. Are they going to crash the
We
base?
saw this last time. We saw this when Briggs fought Cobalt. They went Mass Sunderers, Repair Ball, and it was Basilisk and, well, at the time it was Basilisk Walker, though we see some Twin Furies.
Double Walkers, Double Furies here now.
You've got 2 minutes 50. Combat audio is non-existent. Alright, cool. I'll check that out. There we go. See if that makes a difference, guys. Thanks for telling me. So yeah, you've got this death ball of well, organized group. They've got a deployed Sunder set up. They've got their own kind of spawn options set up. And the Lightning Harasser Force. It is, and this is the weakness of Subterranean Analysis. You can easily pick off, and that's exactly what Briggs is doing, all the spawn options for Emerald, or for the opponent team if you don't play the outside game. However, the internal workings of the base is still, you can't realistically drive vehicles, unless, of course, you think Briggs will just drive all their Sunders in as well, to take out the Emerald Sunders.
They could do that, they could drive them in.
Because they're running at 2 minutes now.
There's one Emerald Sunder left now and it's smoking. But they have maxes up too. Okay, this Sunder is about to go down, I think.
Well, with no spawns and precarious beacons that can only be up for a few seconds, you have to favour the Briggs team here because...
Look at the Briggs pop, 72%, I think they've deployed this well.
Yeah, we can see the galaxies overhead as well. And the Air Force, the Briggs Air Force machine is, or BAM, is here as well. But they still need to get the cap point, but with 90 seconds to go, I definitely got to favour Briggs here.
They have so many people, they can just move forward in a wave. As long as they get the resonators out, they should push them.
My mic is too loud now? Oh, for crying out loud. No, I think my mic is fine. I increased the battle audio. Jeez, oh, this is terrible. Anyway.
We need a professional sound engineer.
Yeah, well, I need to get paid.
You get paid in
cap point flips.
Yeah, that's a really nice deal.
It's fine.
I can never take this back down.
Easiest way to solve microphones is just to move them further away from you, right?
There are a few people committed to split peak there. I don't know where they were headed.
But going back to Subterranean Analysis, we're on 55 seconds to go. I mean, there is a small force. Now, the thing is, it's not a straight up flip. All Emerald needs to do is get on the point 1 second before, right? So just YOLO in onto the point, which looks incredibly difficult.
That would be smart if you managed to just pick up at one point.
Oh, what if you had like 4 or 5 stalker infiltrators sitting in the corner, waiting for the 5-second marker, and then running in, and then boom.
But there's only one VS on point right now. If a person manages it, it would be the greatest steal of the century.
Yeah, because look, there's only one guy. Admittedly, the flanks are all kind of covered, but the actual point itself, alright, they kind of collapse back on it now for the last 10 seconds. That makes sense, but like, you know, and it's so impractical for it to realistically happen. But it would be kind of cool to have 10 infills, just cloakers YOLOing, or they were already there when the NC had capture of the base. And we did see that some of the NC did come in from behind, and they were close to the point, but they didn't quite get it. So, with Nana Analysis going to Briggs, you can't honestly expect Emerald to take it since it's such a tanky base. And it does allow Briggs to apply pressure further down the eastern flank, maybe get Zealous Northgate, but probably not the Biolab. The Split Peak Pass is actually ticking down quite quickly. Briggs,
a lot of people on the Ascent by the look of it. Oh, I think it was the Air Force.
Small Force. Oh, Bastion's 40 seconds. Oh, it was. Alright, cool. I think we need to check Bastion because of the timer there. And we'll do a...
1 minute 40. Could go through for Briggs.
I'll check Araxium. Yeah, they saved Mikala Ox. Emerald it's very low numbers actually. There's a Sunder and there's just kind of low numbers, but it's 90 seconds to go as you're right. I want to check Bastion. We'll do a recap of the map.
They've redeployed in there as well. It's 2 minutes to go. NC have all points. I think Emerald have redeployed into the Sunderers. 24:48 there now for Emerald.
Alright, let me check this. Sorry. Okay, if I move the microphone over there. Gosh, this is what happens when you buy new headphones, guys. Things just get awkward. It sounds perfect to me, I apologise. I'll see if I can't get this solved. Dude, check out Bastion. It's going to be 35 seconds. Now, the Briggs could steal it. In fact, there's 2-to-1 numbers. The Air Force is here for Emerald. Would you take Bastion, or would you take Subterranean Analysis if you had a pick?
I think Subterranean Analysis is more important for the Eastern Warp Gate. But with the Bastion, you have a lot of territory you can steal.
Although Briggs is outnumbered, there's nobody on Bravo. Bravo's too camped, and the A point is too well defended. Not on the 1 second marker. No, I mean that's how you do it. You drop on A, and or maybe you light assault up to A. But okay, and that's Charlie. Yeah, okay, so Charlie's still being held by... The important thing here, it's not ticking down, so if we follow those cap mechanics, Araxicum's Com Network Hub and West Foothills Air Dock, they're vulnerable. Because Bastion's not ticking down, these are bases that can be captured. And, oh wow, Araxicum's substation for 3 seconds?
Split peak past 20 seconds as well.
Oh, extra battle sunders on Araxicum substation. Doesn't look like Emerald's going to be able to... Ah! Just jumped at the camp.
Briggs have galaxies over points on split peak. They might be trying to steal here. But no one's bailing out of them. I think they're just going to lose this.
Araxicum substation's done. Big air... Yeah, you're right, on the Air Force. 1 second to go.
No one's bailing, so it's just going to go through to Emerald.
That brought new meaning to hostile takeover.
There you go. Right, this is actually important for Emerald's game plan, because small outposts, fair enough, you might lose it, but in subsurface analysis, they need to make a save going again. I mean, once you're in there, 3 minutes, maybe you can take it back, but kill the spawns on the outside, and maybe that's it. But 2 large outposts have already gone to Emerald here, and oh wow, check this out. Lithcorp Central was captured, not interdicted. Rockslide is ticking down. I don't think Briggs can make a play for the Ascent now, because they're cut off.
Yeah, that's really bad.
That means the 3 key large outposts have been taken by Emerald.
And you're probably not going to take those back unless something really goes wrong.
"45 seconds to go." They can't do anything. I mean, heck, to be honest, Emerald could just leave, take the entire population at the Ascent, and go Rockslide. Make sure that goes through, because you can't do anything. There's no link. I mean, once the third faction's ticking down, unless you actually have a contestable lattice line, you can't do anything, right? So...
Yep.
Yeah.
Gonna go to Emerald.
Don't give up. We're still in it.
Deserted mine shaft. Is that capping towards NC? That was the thing that the timers not appearing on my map for some reason.
Well, Briggs is making a save at Rockslide. So long as they have Rockslide, they can threaten Ascent. Bastion was ticking down. They got 57% numbers. Ascent goes through finally to Briggs. Briggs is going for Arax's Firearms Corp. I love the ballsiness. The attack on Soltech charging station in the west has been repulsed. It's gone back to Deserted Mineshaft. So the western flank hasn't moved. Both bases have been kind of testing each other. Interesting enough, Subterranean Analysis has been re-attacked by the NC, although it looks like they're just about to lose the cap point, but they are on 68% population. It's something Briggs has to maybe deal with, because I don't see them retaking it perhaps, because you still have the leftovers from that attack. Once it stabilizes and the generators are repaired, I don't see how you could take it, especially if people in that lane staying there. Very small numbers from Briggs going for Axis Firearms Corp, and Split Peak Pass, small numbers ticking it down. So long as Bastion's ticking down or stabilized, it means, like we said, Araxicum Network Hub and Foothills Air Dock won't be messed with. And you can see that the fight on Rockslide is in the hands of the VS, so I mean they can in theory threaten the Ascent, but they need to get at least 2 points in the Ascent, and that's actually a lot of Air Force and Sunders. I'm guessing Emerald wanted the Ascent just to be like their air pad, and that's where their air ball is going to work
really
off of.
It.
So it really becomes a fight between the Ascent and, say, Crux headquarters. Alright, we're going to go to Subterranean Analysis, check that out. If you see the airball fight going on, give me a shout, because I'm actually trying to...
I saw them, they were over Split Peak when it got lost.
Oh wow, there's a lot of... Oh, here we go. So they're from Macalla. They're firing low ground, balling at long range. It really is maximum range firing. That's... Proxy repair galaxies? Yeah.
It's only advantage, PPA is the main advantage of PPA, is that you can engage them at long distances with it. it makes it much harder for the AA launchers and walk clippers to sway you.
I'm right by saying that we don't have a gentleman's agreement. In fact,
yeah.
There's a slow drift from the Briggs Air Force, slowly drifting towards over Rockslide and drifting towards the Ascent. I'm not entirely sure what the Galaxies are doing out of their air group, but okay. It's good. The fact is they're applying pressure, slowly drifting towards the Ascent's tower. I suppose if you slowly push off the Air Force, it gives a better access to Rockslide, so you're not being camped on. You see Bastion's actually ticking down for Briggs to defend their bases.
They give up subterranean analysis as well. There's no way.
Oh man, I've just watched the air group. Yeah, okay, we'll check that out. No, victory points are not part of ServerSmash. I just saw that in the chat. The external shield generator's up. The shield gen's up.
Yeah, but there's a huge force on the interior.
And the external shield generator's down. The other generator's also down.
Rushing in, and the Scout Max is doing what Scout Maxes do.
Need more shotguns. Oh gosh. Well, no, they're not going to have it. But I was going to say, aftermarket jackhammers. Everyone's playing jackhammers, right? No, man. It's like trying to run on the point at subterranean analysis when the enemy's got you camped from the spawn. Oh jeez, this grenade C4 spam lag must be horrendous here from a player's point of view. I don't think they know where to go. Not necessarily where to go, but to go as a group. And there's so many maxes, and the amount of grenades and consumables going off, it's just terrible. And there you go. So Emerald takes back subterranean analysis, which is it's difficult for Briggs to get this back now because they don't have the external control. Like the way that you throttle off subterranean analysis, because of the exposed nature of the spawn options. You kill off the spawn options, the base dries out fairly quickly. So the problem is Briggs was trying to make a save from the spawn room as opposed to always fighting on the lane, not leaving it, and then applying pressure from Silver Valley to get rid of the spawn options. That's how you do it, or having the Air Force, which is at the moment engaged over the Ascent. So now we see that the NC perhaps are pushing over to Silver Valley Arsenal. There's a lot more bases on the eastern flank that Briggs can take, other than Silver Valley. And we can also see they're now going for East Foothills as well. So Emerald is applying all the pressure at the moment. In terms of any positives for Briggs, Araxicum substation is uncontested with 1 minute 40 to go. Huge Briggs force at Rockslide Outlook. So I mean, dead population, pop in the wrong place at the wrong time. That's the only commodity that really matters right now. It's not nanites, it's people and players, and how you can, make the best use of what you have, right?
Yeah, the problem with the eastern Walkgate is on that far east lane, you just get pushed back really far, and you'll bleed territory. And I'm pretty certain the Rascom substation is just going to go down as well. We'll just drop a huge amount of people on there, 1 minute to go.
The Briggs Air Force, I believe, is checked out at East Hills checkpoint. Although it's one of those cap points where if you control the road from the spawn, because the spawn areas have to run over up into A, if you dominate this section, it is vulnerable to air. However, everything else is when I say vulnerable to air, deployed Sunders on the top side are just being absolutely annihilated by Briggs' own Air Force, although they're not ground pounding, so they're using all their anti-air guns to get rid of the Sunders. But when you've got like 7 of them firing at you, it's really effective. However, the cap point itself, uncontested. Battle Sundra on the cap building, probably going to die. Yeah, only a beacon now. 2 minutes to go, and you want to think about tempo play, and you see Silver Valley Arsenal is also ticking down there. This could run away now from Briggs if they're not careful. They need to have the right people in the right place at the right time. So Briggs, they've lost their original push of Raxcom substation. That's going to get locked down, which means that Split Peak Pass is going to be safe because the East Hills checkpoint is still ticking down.
The Soltex king down to minute 30 now for Briggs.
Oh wow, that Battle Sundra is still alive. And he's got double walkers as well. Oh, okay. Never mind. He got wow. I just kind of looked up and there's like 10 scythes staring at me. So, yeah. But they're not PPA scythes. That's the important thing. If they were PPA scythes, or at least had one PPA scythe, this would be an absolute bloodbath for, I'm guessing, Goku forces from Emerald here. We see that Briggs' infantry is at the door now. Heavy assault's poking in. You gotta think about lag, crossfire, and that's the cap point retaken. But when we're talking about tempo play, that means now there's 3 minutes now that East Hill checkpoint is going to take to be fully resecured before the re-attack can happen on Split Peak Pass, and that gives 3 minutes to Briggs to do a couple of options. Either A, to re-prep and then re-attack East Hill's checkpoint, maybe apply pressure on Macalla Auxiliary Compound, get it ticking down so Araxicom substation's free, or, probably the best option, is to take your population that's currently at East Hill's checkpoint and dump it on Silver Valley Arsenal. Help your adjacent lane to take the base, because it's only 1 minute and 30 to go.
There was the really nice redeploy onto Soltec charging station by the NC there. I think they got a Sunder Russell into the flank and just pushed back to the point and retook it.
So
right
Briggs,
behind the Valley forces.
I think Briggs Rassers are kind of picking off any spawn options. Yeah, so... Oh, no, it's a harasser fight. Wow, there's a Vanguard. Hello. Okay, let's see if these harassers come anything across them. Nope. Vanguard's going to get libbed. Yeah, that's what happens when you pull a Vanguard.
Well, they're useful in some situations, but it depends if you have air superiority or not.
You've got this. Don't let
Well... Oh man, there's a canister harasser. Okay, so some Air Force is here at Silver Valley Arsenal, however, and even bringing Sunders in from the north, so they've brought in some extra options from East Shore Checkpoint. In terms of external work, Briggs is doing really, really well at Silver Valley Arsenal, but in terms of the actual capture point, spawn options, beacons outside double doors on the cap room are still up. They're not being EMP'd down.
Look at Macalla Artillery. Emerald have capped all the AA turrets on the roof, and they even have the harasser on the roof.
Wow, I'll go check that in the next 15 seconds. 10 seconds to go in Silver Valley Arsenal, and Emerald will take this base, securing SNA, not that it needs securing to be honest, and then we'll start pushing slightly further north, getting towards closer to Natha.
Oh! Really horrible to defend as well.
Briggs gets here just too late. I mean, they're on the point and they're flipping it. It's important, I guess, but unless they have Sunders deployed and the same sort of multipliers to take it, I mean, this is the important thing right here, guys. It's basically, Emerald is showing very clearly, hey, we can come to a base and we can capture it. Either we have the Sunders on the outside, or we have the beacon set up and we have enough forces that we can fight and take a base. Now it's up to Briggs. We have yet to see if Briggs can objectively fight against Emeralds, not in a defensive fight, but in an offensive fight. Can they actually go to a base with the right setup, the right mechanics, the right multipliers, and take a base? I mean, I'm kind of watching the air football going on. I kind of also want to go to Macalla Auxiliary Compound. I can see that the air group from Briggs and Emerald are kind of facing each other off between kind of East Hills Checkpoint and Split Peak Pass. Actually, interesting, the Emerald Air Force is controlling the airspace over Macalla Auxiliary Compound. That's actually quite interesting. Yeah, and you're right about all the anti-air turrets being up as well. So, as you can see, the Briggs Air Force perhaps wants to come to Macalla Auxiliary Compound to maybe help other guys out on the ground, but when I look at the actual base itself, it's infantry only. There's no battle sunders, there's no additional force multipliers in the cap point. There isn't really that many maxes either, so I mean a concerted infantry push could actually probably save Macalla. Get 1 or 2 maxes on the front line, but they're leaving it awfully late, so it's ticking down to 60 seconds. They got 45% pop, but I don't know where that is.
This is the base you can really hold well with infantry though. So there's not many good sunder positions inside. They tend to just get C4'd, or they can't really have good angles because your guns jam into the roof. So you can't really see anything with the Furies, and they tend to hit the roof. Well, big max crash in from the southwest side by Briggs. They all got C4'd the tank line. That was horrifying. All those maxes just ran in and died.
You mean the maxes ran into the building and died to mines? Yeah, there was no premature... So did they not have like an... I missed it on the camera, but that's why you EMP before you charge in, right?
Yeah, you EMP, conk, and then you charge in. But it was just a max scratch. It looked desperation to me. Just 7 maxes charged in. Bad call.
Well, this is getting kind of grim now. I mean, we're only like 25 minutes into the game. McCalla Auxiliary Compound is going to go through with the pop. McCalla Tech Plant is going to be the next threat. East Hills is ticking down. East Shore is ticking down. Araxicom Network Hub, I think, is being saved. I really hate this movement. I think it is being saved. And it's only the western flank
on the map. I think it's a new change. It's really annoying.
So McCalla is now vulnerable as we zip over to Network Hub. Yes, Network Hub is being saved, although it was close, like sub-minute to go. So Briggs is basically winning or making defensive plays, but their defensive plays are revolving around sending more than 50% population. And if you send more than 50% population to make a save on one base, well, you're losing out population elsewhere, and if Emerald attacks you on like 5 different bases across the flank and you can't win your 50-50 fight, so therefore you have to use your 1 QRF force to make saves, you might save 1 base, 2 base, 3 base, but then you'll lose the 4-1, and it's that internal repetition where you start, bleeding and hemorrhaging bases one at a time because you can't win your 50-50 fights and you can't be everywhere at the same time.
Well, you're always naturally going to lose defensive battles because you're going to be slower than the enemy. You have to be. If you're constantly defending, you'll just lose ground. Especially since you have to assume they have good defensive positions up, which means you have to send 60% pop. You're never going to defend with 50%. Because when you're attacking in Planetside in a ServerSmash game, there generally isn't people set up. So attackers are basically the defenders, because they're the ones that get in the point room, they stop a point hold, and they get their Sunderers in. They're the defenders. It's the actual defenders who are attacking the point hold. So the attackers have the advantage. Like it's weird what they do. So you're always a defender going to have to send over pop.
We're back at East Hills checkpoint, so Emerald's come back, and they're slightly overpopping, but that's mainly the Air Force, I think, overhead, kind of influencing numbers. It's 56 to 42, and this is the thing about winning your 50-50 fights and why East Hills checkpoint is such a horrendous base for a 50-50 fight, is the vehicle terminal is exposed or destroyed on the enemy side across the road. There's no teleporters to the other side of the road, so the defenders have to come from the spawns through the open crossfields to the A point. It doesn't look like the Air Forces are anywhere realistically in sight to make an influence on this base like what Briggs brought last time to make the save. One Battle Sunder finds the NC Stealth Sunder, gets taken down almost instantaneously because it had no backup. And this is just one of 2 crisis bases going on. Oh wait, no. Overpop drop on East Shore checkpoint. And this is where the temple play can swing in, because there's a minute and 20 before East Shore is saved, before the enemy can attack Silver Valley Arsenal. So the NC forces, remember, can either defend Silver Valley Arsenal, re-prep the attack on East Shore Training Camp, or smartly dump their forces on East Hills and make sure East Hills checkpoint goes through, then start applying pressure on Anatha and East Shore Training Camp again. So for Briggs, I wonder if they're just their force structure's too clunky, sending too many people to one place at one time.
It might be that the divide up between the lanes is they don't have enough platoons for each lane, so they're ending up having to
split platoons or overcommit, exactly. Whereas Emerald probably has a platoon leader or at least one force structure per lane, and they realistically stay on the lane they're on to always apply pressure, or alternatively is adjacency. So for example, if I'm fighting East Hills checkpoint, I could go help East Shore Training Camp, or in this instance the East Shore Training Camp guys could come over to East Hills and then just stay for a few moments while they've got tempo play and then take it. So I think the only way to beat Emerald is to do what Miller did last time they played, right, when Miller won, is you have to play Emerald's game of pressure. You have to attack them, and you have to put Emerald on the back foot to objectively make a win, because right now this is Emerald's game. They're loving it because it's their map, it's their lanes, and they're just applying pressure everywhere, attacking every base, and Briggs is just struggling to cope at the moment because, well, I guess it's too many people in one place at one time doing redeployment saves.
I think they might even lose West Foothills because the NC Air Force is
West Foothills, gonna check that out.
There's a huge Air Force here from Emerald. There's quite a few Liberators in the Emerald Air Force as well. I haven't seen that too often. Yeah, there's been a huge VS redeployment here too, but the problem when they do all this
25 seconds
when you pull maxes, if you pull maxes to defend the base, you can lose because you save the base, but then you have those resources gone for 10 minutes now, so they could just come and attack again and you won't have maxes.
In terms of numbers, it's not over numbers, it's still 52%, But
that's including the NC Air Force that came along.
yeah,
so
but it's 8 seconds to go. Well, I guess numbers in one place. 5 seconds to go.
This is lost, and now all these maxes are wasted. And all this
Oh man, they went into small stairs rather than going in from the staircase on the side.
Operated the facility.
Oh, that's brutal. I mean, the galaxy overhead being a nuisance and some air hammers as well is obviously not making that any simpler. Was there any burster maxes?
There was one in this spawn.
Okay, because I mean that might have been able to spawn flak off, but the Emerald steam train rolls on. Now deserted mineshaft is being attacked from 2 flanking positions, so 2 forces theoretically could merge on the deserted mineshaft. The Araxicom network hub is still being valiantly defended. Macalla tech plant is ticking. Anatha Southwest Gate is also ticking, and Silver Valley Arsenal. So Briggs is pushed back, and they're now re-attacking Silver Valley Arsenal. And the issue here is, I don't think. I'm going to check this out.
Problem is, Southgate's kept them down, and that base is pretty dangerous because it's
so
really long walk.
I'm showing on stream, right? These are the neutral bases and the kind of flipping up. So Briggs took 1, 2, 3 bases right from the neutral, but since then, right, Briggs has not been able to take a single base off of Emerald, not one anywhere on the map, other than when it was neutral to begin with.
They've been too busy defending rather than actually attacking.
And that's the thing, you have to rest defensive, and this is where it's kind of snowballs. If you lose tempo on all lanes and all bases, it's extremely awkward to get it back. You can get it back in one lane, but then you lose out elsewhere. So they need to
You're out, Max. Finish them off.
they need to make a save, and then they need to objectively somehow make a fresh counterattack. I mean, is that? That's alright, it's a minute till Macalla Tech Plant's saved. I mean, the centre's good. They've got Rock Slide. They're always attacking Lithcorp, but Lithcorp's such a jaunty angle to come in from Rock Slide around. There's not like good spawn options, and you're ticking it down. The Ascent is just harassment play. Araxicom Network Hub is fine, but the Bastion is such an awkward base to capture. I guess you could pressure there. I mean, if you're looking for bases to capture, it is the eastern flank up to SNA, but then you probably can't go any further. Maybe a counter pressure on Anatha Southwest Gate up to Split Peak Pass. Taking Macalla Auxiliary Compound Araxicom Substation, those are bases where... I tell a lie. Briggs took Araxicom Substation. That was an actual offensive attack where they took a base, so...
I think what you have to do if you're Briggs right now is you have to sacrifice the base and try and do something like take Lithcorp. I think if you take Lithcorp, it's your way back into this game. You got to take Lithcorp and then you got to push Raven Landing because those are 2 bases that are attackable. They're pretty easy to attack. You can get Sunders inside them. You can get really good positions that can stop the air ball from killing you.
This is another thing I kind of want to touch on here that Emerald does, is when Emerald makes plays, they always have somebody like... So to give an example here, at Silver Valley Arsenal and at East Shore Training Camp, these are 2 bases, and both bases were fully secured. Now, Emerald did not abandon the capture point of Silver Valley Arsenal. They kept some defenders, and there's still a defender here, but the point is, they kept some defenders on the capture point, and they had numbers here defending the point. They didn't send all their forces to East Shore Training Camp, whereas Briggs, as far as I could tell, didn't have any defenders on the capture point, or they had most of their population in Silver Valley Arsenal. So there's a fight going on at Silver Valley Arsenal, and there's a very small fight going on at East Shore Training Camp. So it's fighting for tempo, who has control over the base, and then once the lane starts ticking down, and in this instance Emerald sent 1 gal to drop to East Shore Training Camp, because they flipped the point at East Shore Training Camp and because it wasn't defended, it means that the fight now moves forcibly from Silver Valley Arsenal to East Shore Training Camp because the cap point's ticking down, and the Briggs forces are caught off guard and have to redeploy or come back.
There's a huge Briggs redeployment to an Alpha Southwest Gate here, but they're not on the point yet. There's 4 seconds. Everyone's still they're all in aircraft and not pushing the point. I think they're actually going to lose this despite having a huge redeployment there. That's really bad. Yeah, there's a massive VS redeployment to an Alpha Southwest Gate, but they just didn't push the point fast enough. I don't know if they're having problems with communication between platoon leaders or something, but it just looked like there wasn't much coordination there.
Well, I mean, the Air Force is nuking the thing, but the fact is the cap point is... Did they already have people in the biolab? I'm wondering whether... And the VS has got bodies on the cap point, I guess. What's going on here?
It looks like the NC Air Force is over Macalla.
Is it because of the tech, the biolab? I thought the biolab's fully resecured. So why isn't the Anatha ticking down? There we go, it's ticking down. There you go. So so the biolab can't be messed with. There was an Emerald Force here, but they were all wiped off the point and weren't able to get it back. So this is a very, very important base capture attempt here for Briggs. They need to get this back. They've got some air control, they've got some galaxies overhead. It's 4 minutes, they've got beacons. I'd rather like to see some defense in depth, but especially if you've got an air force preventing.
Or Sunderers, you can just get Sunderers in the open ground between the point and.
Oh wow! Okay, so is that an air battle going on over on Macalla and on Athos Eastgate? Very, very high.
NC Air Force both over Macalla, so there could be.
Yeah, they could swoop down on the galaxies, I suppose. East Shore Training Camp. Gosh, it's 69% population. It's ticking up. That eastern lane just can't hold on to the territory. Whether they're being slightly overpopped, so this is another kind of slight tempo play here. The guys who are taking Anatha Southwest Gate, they could have had theoretically goes to East Shore Training Camp, make sure the East Shore Training Camp gap goes through, and then go back and try and deal with Anatha Southwest Gate. I tell you what, we need to go to the western flank because we're paying too much attention to the.
I've been flying
east.
over there recently, but it's.
Wow, there is no way that Briggs is saving. I mean. There's just too much infantry and maxes. There's no coordinated defense by Briggs here. So I mean, even if they do manage to get Anatha South-West Gate in this area, they've just entirely abandoned training camp. I mean, and at this rate, you have to say that the fighting is going to happen at Anatha Biolab. You know, unless they can take Southwest Gate, and even then, we saw in an instance, I think, where when they were fighting at Anatha Biolab and they were surrounded by hostiles, the enemy team pushed out of the Biolab, went for Anatha Southwest Gate, but because they didn't own the comma ray to the north, the Biolab got taken from behind them. They were cut off, and then they had to go back to Anatha North Gate. So I mean, that's something that Briggs has to be aware of if they start pushing out towards Anatha Southwest Gate, is they can't afford to lose comma ray, otherwise the Biolab becomes threatened again. I'll go check out the tech plant, swing by Lithcorp, and then go check out the western flank, so you just have to see more of the map.
There is one thing that's positive. At least there's some offensive caps going down for Briggs. It's a chance to kind of regain the momentum.
Galaxies are smelling blood. They're going for a Sunderer on the drive up. However, we do actually have an anti-air group coming at the spawn room by Goku on the Anatha Southwest Gate. It's just more of an annoyance than anything else, but it's allowing the ground forces to push up. That's the Emerald ground forces to push up. They got themselves a Sunder deployed. Is he going to live? Alright, they're on the roof crucially here, so 60 seconds to go. If I'm Briggs, where's my reinforcement redeploy? That's what Emerald's been doing. They've been basically, when they get close to a base capture, they reinforce it, right? Briggs has been on this base for like 3 minutes now. We're in the 4th minute on a capture, 44 seconds to go. There's barely anybody here. There's no Maxes, there's no Air Force, there's no reinforcement redeploy for the Anatha Southwest Gate. Is that because they're fighting at Comaray or something? I don't know, but it's painful to watch because Briggs used X-Force, had X-Force attack Southwest Gate, and then that was it. There was no additional reinforcements. So Emerald,
call in the Air Force or something, because it's such an open base.
Emerald sees what they've got and then sends exactly how much they need to. It's a little bit of help there, but it's too little, too late. By one galaxy partially blown up. Go check out the tech plant now. Okay, so we got an Emerald cap going on the the tech plant. Looks like Briggs has just dropped a galaxy on Central Reservation. Maybe going for balcony.
At least in the tech plant, Briggs had destroyed the vehicle terminals before when they were here, so the NC can't bring any Thunders inside or harass us.
And they got a galaxy drop squad on the balconies as well, trying to get balcony control, which is the right play.
This is the coordination thing you talked about before. They need to coordinate and get people assaulting from the glory hole or from double doors at the same time. Otherwise, it's just people drop the balcony. They'll just get contained. especially when they're up top like they are. I mean, there's 2 minutes to go now. The SU's destroyed. It's not particularly looking good. The lane pushes at mineshaft, and now the common is going down as well. Southwest gate's been re-attacked.
The SCU, the tech plant. I didn't notice that.
Yeah, the SCU is destroyed. Yeah.
That's GG, man, because there's no emergency fallbacks under it. And the air control over the tech plant, I guess because of the ascent proximity, is all in Emerald's hands. Anatha Southwest Gate is waiting for the tick down to be resecured, but at the same time, Anatha Commerate, there's an entire collapse of the eastern lane. The western flank for Briggs is holding. Now, whether or not it's equal numbers, Deserted Mineshaft is being counterattacked from foothills, preventing the fighting going at its charging station. This is the awkward process of trying to push out of Deserted Mineshaft. They have to wait another 35 seconds and then maybe they can go for his charging station, I guess. And they looks like they've got people in foothills air dock. So the western flank is generally stabilized, and the center theoretically isn't going anywhere. I mean, the Rockside is relatively secure, or Excom substation, next network hub is relatively secure, but the tech plant is okay. There's a Briggs Sunder deployed inside the central area, but with no infantry support and a max and some C4 and mines. That's it, gone. Cap point is flipping by Hero Medic.
Common Ray as well. It looks like there's no NC within the point itself, so a good gal drop could resecure it. But
no, that's the cap point recaptured. I don't know, man. I have no idea how Briggs is going to get this back.
It seems like Briggs is really outnumbered in the air as well. I'll be interested to know how many people each side has in their air squads, because I've seen Emerald Air everywhere, and I've seen Briggs Air nowhere.
But there's an interesting thing, though, is that if you're a platoon, you always provide your own air outside of the air group, right? You know, if you're going to support. So is Emerald doing that because they've got the air hammer? So they oh wow, that's an infantry push on the balcony right now. Double kind of gal push drop. So they've got the balcony control. They've actually killed off a whole bunch of them on the capture point. Only a single max and a couple of infantry. 9 seconds now to go. They got enough bodies in the point they can save now. That is a very important save to prevent the tech plant, because tech plant's just one of those bases where if you play it right, you can defend it. However, in terms of a tempo swing, 7 minutes to make a save from the tech plant.
I think we're about to see a huge assault on the Alpha Biolab right now. Yeah, all points looking to NC now. Generator flipped. This is gonna be
I really want to go to the western flank, but I'm going to have to go check the bio. The fact is...
They have a jungle camp set up. It's a bit weak at the moment, but I'm sure more people...
Spawn room contain?
Are going to come in. Yeah, they're going to try and do that. There's a lot of maxes. Yeah, here they come. More NC coming in with scat maxes. Even more coming in from the recent cap on Comrade.
Surely Briggs saw this coming, though, right? I mean...
you think so. It's the obvious move. Like, it is really obvious it's about to happen. They're being super aggressive too. The maxes are moving right up to the single-story building.
Well, look, close proximity, right-hand corners, the shotguns. I mean, if you want to contain the spawn room, guys, because there's no teleporter, well, this is how you do it. You contain jungle, you contain SU center, lots of cover, lots of flanks, because there's only like realistically a few exits, and then the most awkward, jaunty bit to control is the A point on the exit here into this teleporter. But that's pretty much locked in as well to the narrow corners. So if you've got enough maxes on infantry to spawn camp the spawn room, it's nigh impossible, because I think, oh gosh, you've already got an NC Sunder and after the Northgate. I mean, you could take the teleporter or the jump pad from Northgate to get back in, but that takes a degree of coordination. But you could come at them from behind from the teleporters. The biolab's going to go down here, and I don't see how they can stop this.
Yeah, you can't stop this. There's far too many maxes here.
You know what? We're an hour and 17 minutes left in this game. The way that Emerald's playing and how Briggs is just it's not firing on all cylinders, specifically the eastern flank, is if a Banatha Biolab goes through, right, if the tech plant can be held, you still have to go through Crux headquarters. But if the Biolab goes through, which it looks like it will for Emerald's sake, if they can make it and punch their way through Crux mining operation...
They still have Crux mining, though,
which is a large outpost, and Briggs has got to see the value of it. If they put too much emphasis on overpopping mining to keep it from falling, it means they lose it elsewhere, and if they don't, they're going to get cut off at the warp gate.
They managed to save McCallum, though. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, you've still got a long tempo play, though, to swing it back in favour. They could always go back on so many minutes. Yeah, it's just huge.
At that point, you basically lost the base anyway because the amount of time you have to sit on it for and babysit.
Well, we saw on the Hoston game where I think it was Emerald had the tech plant on the eastern flank, and it went down to like the last few seconds, but then the attacking team, I think it was the Merc group, just came back at like the 3-minute marker, and then from a 7-minute base it was now a 3-minute base, and you had so much less time to prep, you know what I mean, that they get a defense going. But that is it. That is the biolab. Additional reinforcements, additional numbers. I mean, these are the Amish population games. They're balanced numbers, and it's just falling apart here for Briggs. I mean, they've got 48 to 96 defending the tech plant, and they've got there's essentially dead pop. People on the wrong, not the wrong place at the wrong time. They have to stay there. They have to kind of defend, but they're not necessarily doing anything productive while they're being there. Now, in terms of the western flank, which is good for Briggs, and I'm going to go check this out right now before I get distracted again on the east.
Yeah, Soltech charging station. I'm already there now. Let's see what's about to happen here. It looks like Emerald are gathering up for a push, but there's a few Briggs aircraft around.
So, Foothills, it looks like a save. And Soltech charging station, though, they've not been able to take this once, though. I mean, they've been going at this the whole game. Okay, but it's 64 seconds. They got a deployed Sunder. No, they don't, but they got an interesting double Fury Sunder watching the capture point. That's kind of cool from Briggs. I like that.
God. Emerald had a big force in the little rock mazer and 3 PPA sites just unloaded on it, and there's so many bodies. There is no more irritating sound in this game than the sound of multiple PPAs hitting here. It's the rage of a million suns in audio form. A mixture of vehicle fighting going, and you know what I like about the Soltech charge station, the ServerSmash type fight, is you can fight in bases so close to a warp gate that you wouldn't normally do. Like, how often do you actively fight at Soltech? Yeah. And it's a completely different lane of approach because you're not coming at the warp gate. You don't have to worry about air from the warp gate. But look, Briggs has collapsed back to the Soltech charge station. They've got themselves a battle Sunder on the point. They've got themselves a couple of infantry, Max in the control. The thing is, Emerald has pushed out of Banana, but with 9 seconds to go, and Briggs falling back with their maxes. I think they're actually going to get this base. No, with the capture point! 7 seconds! Lone Hero NC flipped the point.
Come on, guys, collapse on the point. This is brutal. Just run to the point now. This is giving Emerald enough time to actually get there. There's the stragglers on the minimap all over the place. 3 seconds to go. This is it. Alright, this is going to be the defense now, right? Oh, another guy. Okay, so there wasn't enough in the capture point. We did have one NC make it to the point, but it wasn't enough. So that was a close capture. I mean, that's good for Briggs. It's very important that they get a base because it's too depressing if you keep losing them all. Oh gosh, the hammer on the eastern flank, I think this is just where Emerald's applying all the pressure all the time, is now punishing onto Anatha Northgate. That's going to go to Crux Marning soon. I mean, it's like 2 minutes to go, but I can't see how it's going to be stopped. Both lanes, the Split Peak and SNA lanes, have combined on Anatha and now pushing Northgate. The Macalla tech plant, there's nothing going on. Look at all this dead pop. Like, it's still a minute 20 Macalla tech plant. And look at this. There's 12 to 24. There's more pop on Macalla auxiliary compound than there is in the tech plant. You know what would be the perfect play right now by Emerald? Is to re-attack the tech plant before it gets down to a full save and totally make everyone that's at Macalla auxiliary compound dead pop. I can see what Briggs is trying to do, prepping the base in the forefront, but it's leaving them extremely vulnerable if, Emerald comes and gets them from behind.
There's a huge Emerald Air Force at Soltech now, though. Oh my god.
Check the infantry convoy that's coming across Soltech Gorge, across the bridge to the capture point. That's perfect PPA spam fodder right there.
Yeah, but it's the air hammer coming in now.
Oh, whoa! I admire this beauty right now.
Northgate, is that about to go through for NC as well? It's finally been saved.
That was just brutal. I mean, they still got the cap point, but the whole building surrounding with 2 minutes to go and a dominating Air Force. No real spawn options for the VS.
The Briggs Air Force is on the opposite side of the map now. They're on Northgate making sure they get saved, but
With
It's
1
not gonna get
second?
saved.
It's not going to get
It's
saved.
not going to get saved. The Air Force isn't really doing anything, so...
Okay, so analysis of the map here. There's a large NC force that's making safe at West Foothills Air Dock. I don't know if Briggs is paying attention here, but the fact that they're going for Sultanate Gorge, I mean, it did get repulsed, yes, but it is extremely vulnerable for being cut off at Deserted Mineshaft. They need to get West Foothills Air Dock back to reliably allow more pressure into Kwati Amp Station. The Araxicon network hub cap is going through again. This is also an important base because realistically, for your Briggs, you want to get this network hub, cap saved, and it's actually quite a lot in the capture building right now, and counter push from Mineshaft into West Foothills Air Dock to get pressure on the Bastion. If you can get pressure on the Bastion, it means you can fight around Lithcorp Central, Ascent, Bastion, and that type of central area, and it kind of locks things down. That's great. Another good thing for Briggs is very small numbers fighting at Macalla Auxiliary Compound, taking it down, being a nuisance, trying to get the attention from Emerald. And Emerald, we see 2 bases here. Both teams have population in either area, and I'm probably going to go there and check that out.
The Rescon Network Hub could be interesting. 2 minutes to go. Looks like Emerald...
Network Hub, yep. Emerald is on the defensive, couple of maxes, but Briggs has actually got quite... Oh, they're being air hammered.
There's a single site here, but he got haunted to that from sky. Yeah, those air hammers just make it impossible to push. You just need such overwhelming force to push when you don't have air control on makes like this, because you're going to lose so many people on the run to the base.
Oh, they're close. They're getting the point back. Is that last spawns now? That 1 max, man, absolutely brutal from the NC. But they do finally lose the capture point. Right. However, the fighting looks like... Yeah, the fact is the Briggs force that was on Atha Northgate now has to go back to Crux Mining. It is awkward because you've got so many points you need to defend before you can counter push at Northgate. We see that the fighting from Foothills has moved on to Deserted Mineshaft, although it's being saved. It's very important because the fact is, if the NC force can keep Soltic charging station distracted, it means they can get Mineshaft from behind.
I think Briggs might have Macalla Auxiliary though. They have cylinders inside. They have the A turrets on the roof flipped.
Oh, nice.
It's 1 minute to
check
go.
out.
Some response.
It secures the spawn. I'm just keep watching the end of this network hub kind of push. It's deployed stealth sunder outside on the building leading to the spawns.
Briggs have pulled a Basilisk Sunderer inside. I'm not too sure how much good that will do. And it's blown up. Here comes a big Emerald Max crash from the eastern side.
Well, they're on the floor.
Emerald had C4 and not Emerald, sorry. Briggs had tank mines.
Dude, the Maxes made up to the cap point.
They just charged over it, it didn't set it off. That's the issue with Jaeger, I guess. Oh my god, they just blew up and killed a bunch of guys there.
They're close.
Condense on point and through resonates.
They need to condense on point. No, the Max is already charged in the point. Yeah.
Too many people.
Too many people, and look how much Emerald is dumped on this. Was there and the Air Force is here as well. I guess with the Air Force and the control, it's very hard to send additional reinforcements because you don't have anyone in adjacent lanes. I mean, who else could you have Briggs have sent here? Maybe they send the people out of the Ascent, the guys at Lithcorp Central. You really can't send anyone from Crux Mining, and then the question is, how do you send them regardless? But look at the population balance. Where's the population that could be used in Macalla? Well, it's at Araxicon Network Hub. So the NC force that was pushed off Network Hub may have been the force that come to Macalla Auxiliary Compound to make a save.
I'll start repairs. Take some ammunition.
That's one of the things about Amerish as well. If on Hossen you have no air control, you can still get Valkyries and Galaxies around using the trees, but if you don't have air control on Amerish, yeah, Valkyries are really obvious. They'll just get shot down. You can't redeploy around the map really quickly, you lose a lot of your mobility.
Well, however, it's still 3 minutes until a full resecure, so I mean, in theory, the Briggs force is nowhere to be seen here. They could have gone to other lanes. I mean, where they go, I don't know. Araxicon Network Hub is theirs. Deserted Mineshaft is fully secure. It looks like they're trying to get a West Foothills Air Dock cap going. Looks like there's a contention between Saltic Charge Station and
The
Saltic
problem is
Gorge.
they didn't redeploy into attacks, they redeployed into defenses, which is just, I don't know
Well,
if you really want to be doing that.
Currently, Emerald's got a massive overpop on Mikhail Auxiliary Compound. Now, they still have a good number of minutes before they can push the tech plant, so they could move, and that looks like some of that population's moved from Crux Mining, but it doesn't look like the population advantage for Briggs over Crux Mining is translating into... No, actually, they don't have all the points. They've got twice the numbers, right? But they don't have. They've only got one of the cap points out of 3. Is that Air Force numbers skewing the numbers? So they got Charlie.
Well, at the moment, Briggs and Emerald's Air Forces are on the ascent. It seems like Emerald are using it as a resupply point.
And I'm just wondering why, with double the numbers, they're not able to get more than one cap point back. Because this is working wonderfully for Briggs, for Emerald, because Emerald's just buying time, stalling at Crux Mining while their population can redeploy and move elsewhere. I suppose an annoying thorn on Emerald's side is saving the ascent fully and then attacking Rockslide, because once you get Rockslide out of the way, and Briggs has done a really good job here of making sure Crux headquarters doesn't immediately get attacked, because had Emerald got Rockslide as they were intending to right at the very beginning, Crux headquarters probably would have been attacked immediately, because that would have cut off the tech plant and that would have been the play. Whereas instead we see that Emerald is focusing more on the eastern flank.
Still win this.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Emerald holding on to the B point. But this is really just. I think you can get a Sunder up onto here. That's what Briggs needs to do.
They had
get Sunder up on the
B&A
top.
for the longest time. I mean, with an Air Force overhead of Emerald, they are still underpopped, which means the guys on the ground are actually less. Which makes me wonder what, population-wise, Briggs is doing at the moment.
I think Emerald are redeploying in now, though. It looks like they have quite a few people coming.
Well, let's see where their pop is elsewhere. Well, the McCalla Auxiliary Compound is about to be fully saved.
They already have people
15
in McCalla.
seconds. They got people in McCalla, although there are some VS numbers there. Is that actually stopping? That would be a nice counterplay by Emerald, punishing... By Briggs, sorry. No, they're not on the point. So that's it fully saved. Does the tech plant tick down? Well, it could, in theory, start ticking down. The actual cap point
Yeah, it's
itself...
already flipping. Tech plant's already flipping.
See?
Down immensely.
Defender on the point, ready to call out extra reinforcements. So they defend the previous cap points, waiting for like any stragglers. And you're right, the tech plant is ticking down. The ascent's about to be saved, Lithgow Central's about to be saved. Bastion is being harassed from Raxicon Network Hub, so that's good. But it really matters. I suppose Foothills could be cut off from behind, but Bastion takes such a long, difficult amount of time to capture that it's better just to push into it. Oh wow, Soltec Gorge has actually got a 63% pop advantage, and with 1 minute 40 to go, we'll check that out. There's a number of Sunday kind of roadblocks by Briggs.
Roadblocks?
Yeah, just like 3 Sunders on the road, preventing enemy vehicles driving in, and just being sort of an anti-air nest. Got a Skyguard and deployed Sunders on the eastern side, roadblock on the... Sorry, AA Sunders and vehicles and modifiers on the western side. Deployed kind of roadblock on the eastern side, and... I guess squad beacons from the south from the NC. I'm not sure if they'll make a difference here. I mean, they are still out-popped. I mean, Briggs is doing a good job here. They were applying pressure at West Foothills. Oh, dude, check the amount of population on Deserted Mineshaft and West Foothills Air Dock. I think Emerald has allowed the Briggs force to get sucked into Soltec Gorge, and they're going to hammer Deserted Mineshaft in a few seconds. I mean, yeah, Briggs is probably going to get Zoltec Gorge, and I suppose this attacking force could, in theory, attack Coati West Pass. They've got people there. They could get another base. They could take some territory back.
Yeah, but if they get cut off, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter because one base loses everything. So West Foothills Air Dock is the linchpin to lock down the gains that Briggs is getting.
Briggs just got in a bit too excited because they're capturing territory. And
yeah,
kind of forgotten about this in the back, which is this weak point of their offensive.
Oh, the ascent is finally resecured, and as is Lithcorp, so it looks like Rockslide is finally ticking down.
Well, they could tick it down already from Lithcorp. But...
Oh, yeah, so they are there now.
Cal Auxiliary is ticking down again, just one guy went there and Ghost kept it.
Okay, so Deserted Mineshaft doesn't actually have
huge
dude
commitment to it now by Emerald.
Deserted Mineshaft, right, as a base. What is it missing? A mineshaft. Where is the mineshaft? I guess it's the doors blocked off from the front.
Yeah, those blocked off doors down below.
Yeah, but I actually want a mineshaft. I want a mineshaft that's been deserted.
But with a little spindler wheel, like a
I don't know, something like Macalla cart mining.
Why would you use carts in the space future? That sounds a bit low tech.
Well, they're self-powered moving carts. They don't need anything to pull them.
But why do we even need to mine things? We have nanites in this universe. Like literally.
Haven't you ever mined nanites before?
Justicia on alcohol. 60 minutes.
Aren't they like nanobots? How do you mine nanobots?
Well, you clearly need the materials to make the nanobots. The nanobots make everything else. That's where the ants coming in, yo. We're getting all the materials to make the ants, to make the nanites with the ants, right?
But don't the ants. I've already confused myself now. I thought the nanites just assemble everything.
Yeah, but the nanites assemble stuff. But I guess you need the original materials to make the first set of nanites. But then again, where do the nanites make stuff out of? I mean, where do they get the resource pool from? Because it could be that the nanites just make stuff, but they make it out of a fuel,
it's like a replicator from Star Trek.
Or NTU from PS1, right? Resources that you have to pull in from the warp gate. So I mean, you know,
the warp gate gets resources from.
Well, the Vanutech.
It's aliens that have to explain it.
It's magic, yo.
Ancient aliens. It's Thetans.
As far as Deserted Mineshaft goes, there's no spawn options for Emerald, and there's a colossal amount of Briggs forces surrounding them on all sides. Oh, I'd say colossal, it's actually 51%. Emerald has been pushed back to the cap room, although they're being heavily grenaded and bombarded. Briggs outside double doors onto cap.
Oh,
there you go.
Just charged in and fell over.
I mean, there's resonates going off, but I don't see how in the next
I think I saved this.
Wow. Reinforcements from the north. There's actually reinforcements from Emerald coming from the outside. They've actually got. Is that deployed Thunder out there? It is. Oh gosh, there's a stealth deployed Thunder right outside.
So giving them mines to Briggs, they just massacred their maxes. Holy hell!
Actually, you know what? Emerald's going to get this. They've got spawn options and they've got a closer deployed Thunder.
What they're using kamikaze engineers. They're just running in with tank mines and just throwing them into the hordes of maxes.
Wow, both teams have actually got a deployed Sundra on the base. The VS one's slightly closer. Having to go up the staircase, consumables aren't going to be an issue. It's realistically who wants to invest more nanites on this base. But this will cut off Briggs's forces, Briggs's stuff. You know, the Soltec Gorge is being capped from behind. Okay, there you go. Now comes the push in.
There's Nancy Max, who was so concussed, he just sprinted in a little circle looking at the roof and just sat looking at the sky, really, really confused looking, before he finally got taken out of his misery. There's a nice counterattack now though. This is backwards and forwards.
Because the Sunder's there, the entire forces can redeploy, and the nanites that the
this is the battle
NC has.
now because the Sunder is.
No one's pulling in extra reinforcements either. It's practically balanced. There's no air force or anything to mess with this.
There's barely any forces on the rest of the map. I think everything is here. Like three or four platoons are here probably.
The thing is, I think the NC force are starting to dwindle. Yeah, they're down to 46% because my character right now is NC, and I'm not seeing. Well, then again, I guess now everything renders.
They're still spawning in because there's still chains going in from the Sunder.
Oh man, this is no. The external Sunder's down. That's why the external Sunders have been taken out by the NC. So. They're going to slowly lose this fight. That was close. It was a very important save there by Briggs. Otherwise, they would have lost 3 important technologies. However, Salted Gorge needs to be saved, although they do have population. This entire time that the fighting at 50-50 Deserted Mineshaft's going on, look at the huge population dump on Araxicom network hub, allowing an attack into Crux. Get Crux and you cut off Rockslide, the attacks from the Ascent, Lithcorp, Macalla Cart Mining and Macalla Tech Plant, because there was a fighting going on at Auxiliary Compound. It looks like Briggs... The Emerald's decision to fight on Crux Mining is done. And they're going to try to pressure elsewhere. And the dead population on the eastern flank for Briggs is going to hurt them, perhaps.
Well, look at Araxicon Network Hub.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Oh, wow, that's actually a huge number of people. If you see that on the minimap on live, that's all in one channel. Just throw an AV mine down. This is too little too late. On 24 seconds.
These maxes, oh my god.
They're not running. They're just stalled. One exit, not off the spawn room. Okay.
This must be horrifying. This is like some...
You've just wasted 10,000 nanites
this is like
on a single exit.
War. Yeah, you wasted 10,000 nanites. Better get back to the deserted mining shaft. Don't desert it. It needs to be reinitialized. They need to mine more nanites.
I've got an idea. Let's run out, not from the spawn room, but from the tunnel, and then all run through a narrow tunnel underground on the low ground. We don't have height advantage, and then just begging to get rocketed mines.
I've never spoken to Obi-Wan Kenobi.
What, doesn't he talk to you regularly?
You can't win if you don't have the high ground. It's impossible.
Right? But then again, I have the high ground, I'm going to win. Surely Obi-Wan's a Sith because he just gave him an absolute. Oh, Sotek Gorge has actually been reinforced, and it looks like Emerald's going to take that. Let's go check that out. I mean, in terms of base maneuvering, I mean, Briggs has stalled this, just the nature of the bases. But looks like Sotek Gorge is going to be recaptured by Emerald. I'm just looking at the score here, 63-36. Oh man, no, the Air Force from Emerald. I mean, Emerald is practicing their air. It's the air that hurt them on the previous game, right? So... I guess, do you think a game is decided by whoever gets to play NC?
No, I don't think so. I think you can win with TR. I think VS are a bit in a weird space now, though. After Blue Shift's got nerfed and...
you don't like the SVA 88?
Nah, the Pulse Rise took it to where it's at now. After the big nerf, the lag was apocalypse.
The capture point was teetering, but they don't have anywhere near external control.
I mean, I really enjoyed the games played as TR. I think it's underrated, especially with some of the new harass weapons. The problem with their TR though is the Banshee is pretty dire.
I heard the MCG was good now.
We've liberated the facility.
Yeah, I heard that.
When you have all the
It's
attachments
0.75.
equipped.
It's 0.75 as well, so you can like wizard.
Well, that's it. So bait and switch from the deserted mineshaft force went to Soltec Gorge, got Soltec Gorge back. I mean, ultimately it's getting bases. The Rockslide outlook is still was being saved, so that obviously got saved. The network hub, oh wow, they're attacking the NC Arsenal and Crux headquarters, although there's a big redeployment force by Briggs on Crux. I gotta check this out.
Yeah, I think they know what they've seen prior games and what's up.
53 minutes to go. The issue is here, how effectively can, in theory, the Air Force from Briggs partially that's over Crux. Although they're missing 2 capture points on the Crux headquarters, though. They've got 71% population.
I'd actually like to win this fight.
Okay, looks like Briggs is a huge population making a save in Crux headquarters. Roughly 50-50 numbers in NC Arsenal. Such an awkward ride from Araxicom network hub.
They should really just send all that pop to Araxicom. Cut the force of NC Arsenal.
Or cut it in half, the forces at Crux headquarters. Or the forces at Crux headquarters from Briggs also needs to do something about Rockslide outlook. So I mean, you gotta send it some to NC Arsenal to make sure it doesn't tick down that quickly, I guess, or... It's awkward because realistically speaking, you don't want like massive amounts of forces are constantly redeploying, going to different lanes. You want to apply pressure on every lane equally. Like right now, you want to apply pressure on Mikhail Auxiliary Compound, try and break it through, but obviously you can see Emerald is defending with 1248. You want to apply a save on Rockside Outlook and then apply pressure like they've been doing the entire game on the Ascent and Lithcorp. You need to retake our Axicom hub. Who's responsible for that? The NC Arsenal force? The Crux Headquarters force? Does the Crux Headquarters force ignore the attack at NC Arsenal and re-attack our Axicom network hub, which actually looks like what's happening, and then cut off the attack at NC Arsenal from behind?
I'm trying to see where the Briggs pop actually is. It seems like they're popped in every fight.
But their populations on the continent is the same. It means they've got dead plop in the wrong place at the wrong time, or just Emerald's being more efficient.
They're not moving around fast enough, that's the problem. They're not being quick, they're not getting to bases and being where they need to be. And they're having overclock for too long. And Soltech is pretty dire because the NC have air power here. And again, it's one of those horrible bases where you have to charge through. I mean, if you have a look at Soltech, the way they're attacking, they're not going around the side like Emerald did when they were against them. They're going to the two double bridges, which have walls. It's literally just a tunnel of death that funnels you into the guns of the enemy. Which means that if you have a big push, your numbers don't really mean anything because their damage just gets amplified.
So the Briggs play here has been to push out from Crux Headquarters and to go for Axicom Network Hub, which has already been stopped in the first 24 seconds, and to go for Rockslide Outlook. The tech plant was being messed with, only small numbers, and so the defenders of Briggs have stopped the Emerald push there. Oh, the other important thing is the deserted mineshaft was being attacked, is now being saved. Small numbers in foothills. However, there's fight going at Soltech charging station, which looks like has just been stopped. So it looks like the Emerald force was pushing into to Briggs territory, but it's still being kind of contested on the point.
Some nice thunders from NC at Soltech.
They try and drive inside?
Yeah, I think they are trying to drive inside, but it looks like it's going to have to
I don't
turn
think
really
you can.
hard. Yo, can I?
No!
Oh, yeah, you can.
What? Oh, yeah, it's a perfectly sized hole. That's right.
Ooh, perfectly sized hole.
Give up. We're still in it.
Well, that guy can't get in.
We need Freud in here. He needs to do some analysis of the Emerald Force.
Nice, really.
They like putting things through holes.
Dude, seriously.
Fine.
Don't try and do a hard right turn. Go up, lip off camber on the rock round, and then slide into the hole and grease yourself in. That's the way you're supposed to get Nizamar. Okay, so
It's sounding more and more like innuendo. They've seen what Emerald have done though. They have these little infantry group on this ridge line. It's really nice. Briggs have done that when they were defending it. They got a really nice angle to shoot on the doors.
So Briggs just deployed a Sundra outside the capture point, but it's Emerald Air Force that's overhead. To be seen whether they've got enough numbers here. It's flat 50-50 with an Emerald partial Air Force. I mean,
It looks like Emerald have super committed to Crux as well. Maybe they just want to get it down to a minute and then come back again, just grind it down slowly. They're going to really commit to that now, I think.
Sorry, which Crux? Oh, Crux Mining.
Yeah, the triple one, yeah.
Yeah, Crux Mining, yeah, you can see that. And so they're losing slowly Mikhail Auxiliary Compound, but the fact is you would give up Auxiliary Compound to get Crux Mining, because Crux Mining is...
I don't think they're planning on taking it this time, though. I think they're going to get it down to about a
Hey,
minute.
I would sacrifice a couple of bases to get Crux Mining, because once you get Crux Mining, that is the last gateway to the Warp Gate. Then you cut off all territory. Done.
Yeah, I think what they're going to do though is they're just going to they'll get pushed off about a minute, 2 minutes to go, and then we'll re-attack.
You think?
With a huge force, yeah.
Because if I'm Emerald, I might even dump more pop there. I could dump the...
Yeah, it would be totally worth it to dump all your forces here, and then just get to the warp gate.
And if you lose a network hub, maybe you lose Lithcorp, maybe you lose
But
Mikhail
they have plenty of time, right? They have a long time to go. They could easily just
It's 47 minutes. You don't have to be that extreme YOLO. But look at this. Wow. Okay, so not only have they got a pop mass in Crux Mining, although they're being equalized, deserted mineshaft, 60% population for VS with 1 minute 20, and Soltech charging station, we've got another 60% population. It's almost equal pops, 58 to 42 actually for both bases. Winning your 50-50 fights, guys, you have population advantage on home field advantage with 1 minute 10 seconds for two bases. And the question is Briggs able to save either base with population advantage?
I don't think you have an advantage when you defend the base, though.
Well, you can deploy your Sundra in your own base. You've got the advantage of the spawn.
They have the advantage of bringing in all the units. They have the advantage of calling in air at the right time. Like, if you're defending your air, it's a disadvantage.
Deserted Mineshaft is the more important base, so that gets saved. Now, the question is, what about the Soltech charging station?
They should. They have overpop there.
They should, with overpop. Yeah, here come the maxes, the equalizer of skill.
The problem is, they pulled max.
Okay, well, you're lucky that wasn't important. The max ran up the stairs, fell off the side, then just tried to get up. Ooh, Sundry Lightning Force of Skyguard. Oh, nice. Sunday Driver double C4. Doing his work.
Looks like Emerald redeployed to the deserted mineshaft though. Probably the forces that just got kicked off Soltech decided, well, we'll just go back to the deserted mineshaft and cut it off.
So McKell Auxiliary Compound, 50-50 fights. Looks like Emerald's making a save, Ascent. So Rockslide is resecured, and the harassment on Lithcorp Central and Ascent is ongoing again. They got some on Crux headquarters. Deserted Mineshaft
redeployed strongly to Crux mining though.
I mean, it looks like it's taken a while, but Briggs is stabilized, right? I mean, they've managed to hold the western flank, although there's pressure from Briggs. I mean, if Emerald really wanted to go extremely heavy into Deserted Mineshaft, they'd have to pull other people from other lanes, center or east, right? I mean, that's probably not going to happen. I mean, if Emerald wants to dominate this game and just win it outright, just kill it dead, then Crux mining operation is how you would do it. I mean, that's the way I would go. Either I'd pressure Crux, maybe Crux headquarters and Crux mining, pressure both bases, so making it awkward for Briggs to choose between which base to save.
They don't need to pressure it there. They can just play it
slow.
Wow. Just play it slow and then drop the pop when you have the timer down.
Soltech charging, they've got themselves another deployed Sunder on the south of the base, giving them fresh spawn options to apply pressure on the north cap point. I mean, I don't think they've just been perpetually fighting here the entire time.
Yeah, NC is central point. Yeah, Emerald redeployed here. It seems to be a bit of a ping pong between.
57% pop. Yeah, the pop that was at Deserted Mineshaft looks like it's moved to Soltech charging station. So if they can't get Mineshaft, fine, brute force down Soltech charging and make all the fighting be in the Mineshaft. You couldn't get that cut off, but again, it's another piece of territory. That's what matters, right? Then in theory, if you get Mineshaft, you could maybe push Stone Ridge, because Stone Ridge is an easier base to take than Mineshaft. Mineshaft. We see Crux headquarters, all 3 points are captured, ticking down sub 7 minutes. The tech plant also being captured, and a 50-50 very slow cap going in at mining operations. So I mean, Briggs has got a lot of issues that they have to deal with in the center here.
Looks like Briggs are putting a few galaxies into Mikala. Maybe they're responding already. Yeah, they're responding in force right now. It's a decent Emerald hold in the balcony, but I don't think they're going to hold against all these maxes that Emerald Briggs are pulling. But the problem is they're pulling maxes to all these fights. They're going to run out of resources. You can't just throw them around like that. Like, if you attack and you get pushed off by infantry, that's fine, that's neutral, that's neither side has the advantage. But if you attack and you get pushed off by maxes, your attack was successful because you wasted 10 minutes of resources for them. You can play the resource game and then try and cap it for a long time.
Well, the Briggs force that was at Mineshaft has now come to Soltech charging station, so it's like two separate groups working together with each other, trying to get an advantage. Cap point has been swarmed by Briggs, and there you go, that's them getting the cap point back. We've got a Battle Sunder on the inside. I'm not sure how effective it is pointing up the way. Thing is, the root issue here, the spawning Sunder, hasn't been dealt with. Briggs has got their own Sunder force on the road. Okay, so they're getting rid of like one Sunder. AV mines, AV mines, AV mines.
There's an Emerald guy here using the battle rifle.
Has he been successful? I don't know, let's find out.
No, he just got killed by a max.
What's the battle rifle called, specifically?
Warden, I think.
The Warden has 3 kills this game.
Still got this out.
I like the kind of terraced solar panel buildings. It's a really nice fight watching them move up these terrace. I wonder what kind of effect Fallout 4 had on turnout numbers.
You see how traffic on Pornhub dropped 10%.
Whatever it was.
Yeah.
Clearly both sides have had some training issues. The members have been playing Fallout 4 rather than training for their Smash game.
So that is a save by Briggs. They've actually fully pushed the Emerald off of the Soltic charging station, but the entire Emerald force has just left. Where do they go? Maybe to West
Scala,
Hills. Crux headquarters
Crux.
not going. Tech plant sub 4 minutes. Crux mining up. Still slightly under pop, but it's ticking down. We'll go check out the tech plant.
Yeah, big redeployment on the tech plant.
SCU critical.
It looks like Briggs got to destroy the vehicle terminals because Emerald have hacked up some Sunders. Oh no, they have. They
No,
have.
the,
They're them somewhere else.
terminals are dead, but they must have got it from elsewhere. But that's not going to last long. Emerald destroying Briggs Thunder that drive them from the rear. Deployed. It means we got nuked. You can see it on the minimap. The Sunders are incoming. I mean, already the heavy assaults kind of race to fire rockets at it. I suppose it deployed Sunder outside the balcony. I mean, is it worth it? Everyone goes light assault and jumps up.
That's 4896 here now though, so this is a huge group from both sides.
Visual on hostile engineer.
I mean, the external Sunder from Briggs, I think, is more of a trap than anything else outside on the north of the tech plant. I mean, they can come in through double doors. I guess that's one approach, but they want to get the balcony without a galaxy drop, though, and without actually like multiple Sunders coming in and breaching the vehicle bay area, which is the best way to do it. Resorting to deployed Sunder, all light assaults to balcony is just not going to work.
What was the top fragging weapon for BS, by the way?
Top what, sir?
What was the top fragging weapon for BS now that Orion and SVA have been nerfed?
Anchor's top, Pulsar is second, followed by the Orion.
Yeah, it's really good now with the changes.
Well, we're 1 minute 20 to tech plant. Minimap is swarming on all sides. So we see side jump pads. Yeah, they have. It's not as close as it was last time. But in terms of population, they had to send 62%, which means Emerald has countered on them with their Crux mining. This is huge. 60 seconds. This is as close as it's ever been. Small tenuous hold on Charlie. It's going to go back up to 3 minutes now. Still, I mean, that's now you're at that point where it's sub 60 seconds if you get all 3 points as NC. Now I would dump everything I've got at Crux Mining because you got a huge temple plate Macalla Tech Plant, 5 minutes plus. Send everything to Crux Mining, get it. And then from Briggs' point of view, yeah, I have a lot of problems. Maybe try and keep 50-50 numbers in the tech plant, match them population for population so you don't abandon it outright, but you've got to send more to Crux Mining. You're at number 2-1, and you're 2 minutes and 30 seconds away from losing the last defense you have of being warp gated. Or the potential of being warp gated, but you know, the single pointers are going to be much easier to capture.
Emerald are pushing on with the battle bus to C point now, so they're going to flip it and it's going to go down really quickly.
Yeah, 60 seconds on a 2 point, in which this is going to plummet to like 30 seconds or something.
There's probably going to be screams and
it's
now
less
to redeploy.
It's too late.
They can't even run to BI in
time. 35 seconds. I don't see how Crux Mining can be saved. The fact is, they need to get 2 cut points and then hold the cap points for a very long time to get the base out of save.
this is lost. There's no way they're going to stay.
The population's turning up now, but it's just a little bit too late.
It's too late.
It's all infantry. The worst thing you can do when you're trying to save a base, guys, is infantry redeploy to the spawn room. That is like the worst thing you could do. It's got to be like either an air force pull in, either you go to another base with an air terminal, pull in vehicles from a previous base. Do something to give yourself a multiplier. Don't just be infantry, because like this one battle center with his gunners is just dominating this entire infantry push. Okay, so
now they go for the warp gate.
this is now extremely important because Emerald can threaten the warp gate on Shadespire Farms into ARX, into Jagged Lance Mine, cutting off all the territory.
They're already dropping. They're already dropping there. Galaxy drop on the point now.
And this also has
2 galaxy drops.
additional ramifications, because if Briggs sends everything they have to defend Shadespire Farms and other bases to prevent from being cut off, you run the risk of losing every other base everywhere else. For example, look, Briggs is taking Soltec Gorge, but alright, they were on the risk of losing Deserted Mineshaft. It's 1 minute 52, and it doesn't look like Emerald wants to punish Deserted Mineshaft. They want to make all the pressure continue on the warp gate. Oh, left the weapon up, sorry. My bad, got there. There you go.
Visual on hostile engineer. Spotted a hostile mech. Enemy heavy.
Well, they're going to commit a huge amount of people to Shadespire. They haven't gone absolutely crazy. It's only 24:48 here.
Enemy engineer in the area. Nearby. You got a hostile. We got extra ammunition here. Spotted an enemy heavy. Stay alert. Enemy heavy spotted. Enemy heavy nearby. Enemy heavy nearby.
But the Briggs force is here on... Okay, here comes 1496 now. The Briggs force is not doing too much though. They're just sat in the spawn room. Firing lashes.
The Emerald team's on the roof. There's no air force, even though the proximity to the warp gate. 2448 Briggs is in the warp gate. Still,
there's a lot of scythes turning up now.
PPA time.
PPA.
Get them off the roof. Yeah, so the Air Force, I guess, is here.
Beacons are beautiful though. 6 beacons and they're ready to a nice pattern. Yeah, and some Emerald guys are trying to shoot rockets to the sides from the stairwells. That's not going to work. I'd stop trying. That's a good way to get balls in your face.
I mean, it's a shiny display of air power.
But it's not taking a point.
It's not taking the point though.
In this game.
I mean, okay, don't get me wrong. You dominate the roof, throttle them so they can't harass you. Well, it's good use of a Burster Max. I mean, they actually preemptively brought a Burster Max. Oh, it's because the equipment terminal's here, so they're able to hack it and change their gear. That's
really good because they can fill its shield up and your overshield. It's really powerful. Okay, Briggs drop on the roof.
Ooh,
let's go.
Dude, the gal that just dropped it, he's got a bounty on him.
I saw a guy flying with bounty.
With 70 seconds to go, Briggs is now pushed up infantry-wise to the cap building, so they're here. But there's just so much NC.
There's no maxes in the NC force though, so it's just squishies.
From the Emerald force? Oh, from the NC force.
All squishies. Yeah, the Emerald force is all squishies.
And they've got the Vanu have motion. I mean, they've got everything in their favor right now. They've got sky control. Oh no, wait, sorry, so that's elements of the NC Air Force has turned up. Yeah, there are some Reavers. We're 45 seconds away from 1 out of 3 in terms of base warp gate cutoff. I mean, most of the beacons are down. Spawn options realistically non-existent from the Emerald Force. 25 to go. Population numbers. It's 56% NC. Surely is the... I mean, how hard is it to get to this base? Redeploy Warp Gate, fly Shadespire, done.
Apparently it's very hard.
Man, they're gonna get this.
It's gonna go through, yeah. It's not the best situation to be in because now they can cut off crooks, they can go off everything. Amerish ARX Reserve is a really horrifying base.
Oh my god. Right. ARX, once you get set up, I mean, you already see they've got 1224 kind of waiting there.
Was it the infamous Connery game where we fought on this base?
Okay, so now Shadespire is a freebie, okay? You've seen what happens. Can you take it back? Don't know. Deserted Mineshaft is ticking down. Looks like it'll be saved. Small to 12 number, 6% population for the VS. You had to pay for the VS to make a save from Briggs. Soltec Gorge was about to be captured by the... it's still being captured, sorry, by the VS, if I read these swipey bars correctly. It's Soltec Gorge. So, that's a base they could theoretically get. But
Briggs have redeployed already to Amerish ARX Reserve. They really don't want to let them take this base.
Yeah,
They've
so
put at least 2 squads here.
The key thing is that if they get ARX, Crux is cut off, Tech Plant, the whole centre is just cut off, preventing redeployments. And if your Air Force is dominating the Warp Gate by watching the Warp Gate, then your freedom of movement, the ability to redeploy or spawn in and make a save because you'll be cut off, and doesn't work. The number of VS
Briggs
defenders.
have taken Soltec Gorge, but
That's good. No, that's good. The deserted mineshaft cap looks like it's been stalled and saved. There's also a small offensive cap going out at Network Hub, preventing the cap at Crux quarters.
They want to go to ARX Network Hub, because then even if ARX Reserve does get captured, it won't cut off all those territories.
Well, yeah, no, sorry. ARX Network Hub is extremely important because it offers a secondary link other than ARX. So the cutoff, you would have no cutoff territory.
Half an hour remaining in the match. Now, 30 minutes remaining.
I wonder if Emerald is just playing for more territory. I mean, with half an hour to go, in 66 to 33.
Oh no, they've taken Soltec, but look at Zed Mineshaft.
Oh no!
Yeah, it's all going to be for nothing.
Because of the so slow numbers, they've counter deployed them.
I didn't even notice that. Yeah, and Emerald have reinforced now.
Both teams reinforced. You see the number of Vanu coming out of the spawn rooms, but with 17 seconds to go, it's just run for the point. Run. And it's this brutal kind of choke point on the double doors.
Oh, there's a big push on the big stairs though. Big push on the big stairs.
The max is in. The max is in. This is it. 2 maxes, 3 maxes. The infantry needs to come in and support.
Oh, that's a lot of laser fire. Oh my god! I thought they were going to flip it for a second now. But
Wait. I don't know, man. That was close. I mean, they're going to hold this because there's no spawn options for the NC, but that was uncomfortably close.
So if I was Emerald now, I'd go ARX because there's a huge Briggs force there that's been overreacted. They're deploying on ARX Reserve now, 24-48.
Yeah, and the fact is, to be honest, you might even sacrifice all of the center for this because warp gating them is far more pleasurable experience than losing getting a 66%.
Yeah, the Rax bomb's been saved, so they should just all go to this base now. And this base really favours the NC too, because the point room is a little cave of death where your shotgun maxes can just sit in there and mince everything
and
up.
If you control with the Air Force, well, their Air Force can't do anything, but if you have an Air Force, you can prevent anything flying. Oh wow, there's actually air battle going on overhead at Deserted Mineshaft.
Here comes a swarm of Emerald ants running to the A point at Amerish ARX, and they have brought scatter maxes.
So if you were going to push ARX, I'd send the Air Force to ARX, right? But it looks like 50-50 numbers. If anything, the Air Force has been sent to Deserted Mineshaft. That's the Emerald Air Force.
Yeah, I think that's a bit... I think it's unnecessary. Go ARX. You'll probably capture it at this stage of the game. Because they're under pop on Deserted Mineshaft, even with the air team there. They have
no spawn options for their land forces unless they're like prepping the area to bring in additional Sunders and re-attack. Then yeah, I suppose you're right. Although the NC is pushing Soltec Gorge again, so that's something, I suppose. Network Hub was saved. The NC Arsenal, small harassment force. Looks like they got small guys at Crux headquarters as well. Shadespire Farms is actually being counter-attacked by Briggs, which is very important for them. Emerald is making a save at Macalla Auxiliary, and again the centre. It's just constant harassment by Briggs. Things like the Ascent. In terms of the cap, it doesn't look like there's very many, if anyone. Oh, dude, there's one infiltrator on the VS symbol on the cap point. He's instantly killed! Instantly killed! I mean, is that the first place you shoot? above the cat point,
Yeah,
just in
yeah,
case.
it is. That's just so obvious. That you need to be sneakier, you need to be slyer.
Don't let up.
One of the sneakiest things I've seen is TR guys on the TR cat point putting claymores behind the graphics, so the red doesn't stand out. So you walk up to the cat point, and then boom, you're dead. It looks like the NC's making a save. It wasn't really a serious attempt or threat at Shadespire, but they're making a save before they can maybe do another push. ARX is actually quite empty at 1 to 12. The numbers are up to 24, 48. Oh wow, that's a fresh drop. So long as they get the capture point before it's counter flipped in the previous base, that VS...
Emerald do have people on the point at ARX though, so they need to get on it ASAP. And they have got it.
Yeah, they have, yep. Oh wait, and it's back. There we go. So Briggs has currently got hold of it.
That's a lot of dead bodies to the point. How do they lay that?
Reinforcements from Emerald came up from the staircase from behind. Everyone's just attacking everyone from behind. This is the way it works. And you die before you realise what killed you. Especially when you're playing Briggs. Dude, I mean, to give you an example, guys, if you, how much lag Briggs is probably suffering from, go play in the Briggs server. That's how much they have to deal with, because it's the other way around. Okay, so Soltec Gorge, 20 seconds to go. Way off on the western flank.
A huge Emerald commitment to Macala as well. It's a bit strange when you have such an easy option to completely destroy them at ARX. I wouldn't even bother with these other bases.
Soltec Gorge is done. I mean, this is a nice back and forth between the Briggs and Emerald forces.
We've liberated the facility.
The Emerald outfit at Soltec Gorge is called the Ghost of Tony Abbott. Does that make any sense to you? Context.
I know Tony Abbott.
Yeah, well, because he used to be the Prime Minister, but I think he got replaced. Backstabbed by one of his own team or something, his own party members. You know what? I don't know anything about Australian politics, but it's just Emerald taking the mick.
I was going to say last time they had any elite Emerald division against us.
I didn't even know we had that.
We should sue them for libel because they defamed our name by getting a below one.
Did they not do very well? Oh well,
No,
there you go. But okay, so the Soltec Gorge, even though they didn't manage to make a save, the VS force is straight back in the cap point. They got a population advantage. It looks like they're still saving. Mineshaft is still 3 minutes, which means if the NC drops there, it's going to be only a minute for save. God, there's a lot of things going in the center. The tech plant's being re-attacked. 5 minutes to go. Cent is just being harassed. That's probably going to be saved. Big plays Rock Slide though. Check Rock Slide. That is the current big play in the center because it secures the ascent.
Why is Soltec in such a? It's such a nowhere base. It's completely irrelevant. It doesn't really like.
This is my lane. I will defend it. It is mine.
They've just put so much effort into it. They don't want to let it go, even though it's a completely worthless base.
Well,
it doesn't do anything for either team.
You can't give the enemy territory, and it's kind of like fighting in the desert or anywhere in history. It's the case you fight there because the enemy is there.
Take some ammunition. Got ammo for you here.
It's just a gorge. It doesn't do anything. Why is the 4896? You see that at Tech Plant, and you see that at Area X. You don't see it at Soltec Gorge. It's such a weird fight. I don't know how that's even come about from the tactics of both sides.
Oh wow, so the Briggs forces are actually doing a fairly strong attack. It's 50-50 now on the Rexcom network hub. I guess I'll check that out in the next 60 seconds after Rockslide. Thing is, the NC can take Rockslide outlook and then theoretically redeploy into... Oh, it's already been saved to network hub. And the tech plant, I guess the forces that are taking Rockslide could move to Macala Tech itself. Now the attacking NC are outnumbered. It was about 50, 54, 55, slightly ticking up. I'm not seeing any Air Force in some other teams. It's all about controlling this bridge. Oh, Battle Thunder's incoming. That's smart. 30 seconds to go though. It's going to deal with perhaps the NC Battle Thunder on the point. There's a lot of EMPs though dropping down. The VS are on the roof side. 20 seconds to go. I have to favour Briggs making a save here. Well, they're so close to pulling this off, but that one Battle Sunder left over is watching the rear. Max on the front. We're leaving it way too late. It's too late. You've got 5 seconds to go. They're going to get this. If you collapse on the point, there's just not enough people on the point to get it.
It was a nice try with it close and behind, but it was a bit too late.
It's just a little bit too slow. There needs to be a higher urgency to get to the point. Look, they got to the point there, but it's like 4 seconds too late. Okay, just check
and
out
now
some
that you
outfit
say
names.
Picard, although they're going to have a bit of a bad chain of loss.
Check that out, and then I'll check out the outfit names.
Just saw an enemy medic.
Oh, the SU's ticking down. 9 seconds on the tech plant.
Yeah,
I'm not
that's
really
right,
seeing it deployed
hit the
Sunder.
ring.
This might actually give them the tech plant then.
They managed to get one Sunder inside and the harasser inside for the instant.
SCU.
Briggs have been really good with destroying the Vector Temples at this base, though. They haven't let Emerald flip them and then pull out Sunders. So a good thing to do in tech plants.
I'll get you fixed up. Suit, you got your bonus check.
Well, there's some VS numbers in the hex now. Maybe they're trying a galaxy drop. Uh-oh. My ARX reserve's ticking. It's going to kind of force Emerald Briggs to choose between the two bases.
Well, back on the tech plant. Sorry, I was just checking stats there, showing it for everyone else. 90 seconds to go. SCU's destroyed. Canister harasser on the balcony. That's going to make that even worse. No battles. I'm disappointed there's no Battle Sunder on the A point.
SCU.
The Sunder's underneath. They've got the time to get up there. I guess maybe they don't know how. Maybe they haven't practiced it. Air Force is overhead. The SCU's down, prowling for anything that has kind of resemblance of spawn options. Where's this 48% population for the VS?
Yeah, I was reading that too. I can't see any on the map.
Coming in from a big gun, maybe?
There's a few Sunders driving in. Oh, but they've run into a lot of AV. The stragglers coming in and shield the door. Oh, glory hole.
Oh, glory hole.
Max's lots glory hole now. Will they be able to time though?
The fact that there's a Sunder there, absolutely nailing them. Okay, the Sunder might get screwed. Yeah, okay, the Sunder's screwed, but there's an additional Sunder and harasser watching the stairs. Oh my goodness. Triple AV mine on the jump pad. Quad AV mine. It's just brutal massacre.
Kenobi needs to give some tactics advice to this platoon.
Attack from multiple places, and even then, there's 4 AV mines on the bomb. There's another 5 or 4 AV mines on the end of the jump pad.
Again. The high ground's just being the enemy of them. Uphill mischance.
There you go, that's the tech plant. So, we might actually see a fight at the cart mining, where the mines that cart. ARX isn't going anywhere, and this is perhaps what we were saying. Briggs commits such a force to defend the ARX they lose elsewhere, but I think it's just slow pressure. Crux mining is being pressured now. Cart mining probably will be pressured next. West Foothills
Where
Air
are the
Dock.
carts in cart mining?
Out of order because it's a war zone.
It's like the most pointless railway ever. It goes like 20 meters.
Are you questioning Pled's contribution?
No, I'm just wondering why they use a railway in the space future.
So you want hover rails? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, maglev. Even Japan has maglev in China. Surely the banding would happen.
You'd have to think the Terran Republic was the guys who built the base, though, before the war broke out. Unless it's been modified in such a situation.
I suppose, yeah, it was the original TR settlers.
What were they mining when they were
why
there?
Why is it not pulled by, what's the word? The oppressed people of the TR's...
Pressed?
TR's using a slave... Yeah. Okay, yeah, I guess you're the TR guy, so... Enlightened people.
Well, at any rate, we were watching Kauai West Pass, which is one of those bases where you take it when you have like 100 vehicles, and that's not what the Briggs Force had. There's so many vanguards, and Sunder's another Maxes and infantry just absolutely crushed the Kauai West Pass attack. It looks like the attack by Briggs on the West Foothills air dock has also been stopped, and the attack on Network Hub, but it's great to see Briggs actually making more offensive plays. Ooh, Shadespire Farms is ticking down due to the Warp Gate. However, ARX is in possession of the cap point, and that is ticking down sub 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes?
Yeah, it's 2.5 minutes now.
I mean, I suppose that is the awkward thing. You're coming in from one approach. The Emerald Force oh my goodness, check that Air Force that's over here. Just due to the proximity of the Warp Gate, Briggs is... Even if they're not have the Air Force anywhere else in the map, the fact that they can just dominate ARX. The thing is, you're 16 minutes in, at what point do you try and go for the spawn room contain? Because, sorry, this is not the spawn room, the Warp Gate contain, because you have to then defend 3 bases. I guess it kind of works. But maybe you wait until like there's no time left for the enemy to respond.
I guess the Warp Gate's like a giant spawn room to contain.
So ARX is jungle? No, Lance is jungle, right? Yeah.
Yeah, because
anyway.
ARX is a cave, so it's just like A point.
Okay, so minute 50. I gotta say the defenders. Well, no, there's a max.
There's not that many.
There's not that many, but
I don't think one max is enough. You need, like,
no. Especially with all this Air Force in the skies. Is there any Reavers? Yes, there are some Reavers. Yeah, so there's the Air Force is way up ahead, but that's a huge infantry push coming from the spawn room
as well. Yeah. There's a lone Reaver.
Oh, but additional NC reinforcements confirming from double. So the Vanilla Horde isn't guaranteed an automatic cap here. Is that deployed? Yes! Look, there's a stealth deployed Goku Sundra on the double building. That is huge. That's going to offer redeployment spawn-ins if it's possible. Shadespire needs to be saved on 1 minute 40, but the fact is ARX is closer.
There's 2 harassers coming in as well. Don't know how they managed to slip those through the aircraft.
I think...
They're gonna get
oh, dude, the Maxes. Here they come.
NC or TR? Oh, VS.
Oh, VS, dude. There's like a colossal ton of them.
Oh my god, it didn't even render for me there was that many. Wow, okay. They're getting a harasser inside though. If this harasser could just mow them all down, it'll be the best roadkill.
Wow, a huge chunk of them being absolutely nuked with grenades. Navy mines. The harasser is on the inside. Oh my god, one entrance. Canister harasser, yes please.
Oh my god. Yeah, that canister harasser's having the time of his life. There's no AV.
Wait, is that actually a canister harasser?
AV.
Oh wow, okay, maybe that works.
Eventually. I think the volume of VS is just...
It's just too much. Brute forced their way in 25 seconds.
They need bigger magazines on the...
Is that a mistake by Emerald not sending enough people? Like, for example, screw...
It's 96 plus for both sides, but I think that came with
Yeah. I mean, I suppose...
there was only like 20 on that point then. It wasn't enough.
There was a lot of outside on double, but... Spawn Sunder double still up. They can counter max push. This is exactly what they're doing. They are counter max pushing from the other side.
If the enemy brings maxes, the answer is bring more maxes. Homer Simpson, that's been bad.
The maxes with the shields doing a slow push. Oh, but the maxes didn't have the infantry support from behind. If they push this, they could totally push in. One concerted... Oh wait, they're coming from behind. They came on the underside as well.
Yeah,
watch it from the rear.
Sides. Oh my god.
The VS maxes are dwindling. They're down to 3 on the point. NC ones are poking. They're not really charging up, but NC's got this. But the thing is now the VS counter push going to make a difference. Point's going to start flipping. It's what, a minute 30? So the maxes that pushed up now need to be all repaired instantly. And now it's up to the VS.
Everyone on the map is here now.
We got 96 plus. Very few people. There's still fighting going at Raxcom, West Foothills, and there's still a little bit of fighting going on the western flank. But yeah, it's pretty much the center and the eastern lanes are all here. NC is in control of the cap point. 60 seconds to go. That Spawn Sunder is still giving tons of value. Otherwise, this attack just simply wouldn't go anywhere.
I wonder how many ribbons is getting off that Sunder.
And the Air Force actually is Reaver at the moment on the control, but I don't think the... Maybe the Reavers are being a little bit of a nuisance on the top side. Is that the max coming in from the bottom side? Oh god, more air hammers as well. The Air Force is going to make this very hard now for the VS. There's even a flash just going in, killing things.
Hey, well, hey, a row kills the maxes instantly. It's value flash.
Okay, so they're trying to push in not from the choke point of the tunnel, but actually from the staircase. But it's still...
All I can hear is
No, they're not going to get this in 16 seconds.
There's a VS harasser coming now.
Right, this is going to cut off a massive amount of territory because the Briggs was not able to get a Raxcom network hub.
Oh no, the VS harasser!
What?
You see how many he killed? He killed at least 20 of the same guy.
The concept was smart. I love the concept of running, clearing a path. They kill all his team.
Stairs.
Well, that is one. So guys, okay, so cut off territory. Tech plant was taken.
I don't think that harasser was worth.
If the Air Force can dominate... Oh man, Jagged Lance is already running. This is it.
They can do it. Everyone needs to get there. Everyone.
I mean, I kind of want to be neutral and cheer here. I mean, I really want Briggs to save Lance and take ARX back.
Plays,
but
so let's go.
Okay, so the western flank of Saltic Gorge, they don't give a crap about what's going on.
There's 2 AC on the point. Look at all the value coming through him. This one guy's running away. There's no escape. He died.
Okay, so harassment cap, I guess. The NC needs to keep Shadespire safe. ARX, they need to... They got a huge amount of pop, that'll be fine. I guess theoretically move to Lance. But then again, at the same time, the VS might go for, Tungsten Mine. They're getting Crux. The tech plant bizarrely has been counter-capped. It needs to be safe before they can go for cart mining. Foothills kind of back and forth as long as there's a ticket to Foothills. It's not going for mineshaft. But seriously, the western flank guys, they don't give a crap about the center or the east or anything. They're just having their own private war completely unrelated to everything else going on the map. And we're just watching the end of the Saltic Gorge. This is a VS save. Looks like, yeah, they've got a save now in Gorge, and they've got a slight overpop. Crux is ticking down. The fact is, I don't think the Air Force is able to get out from Eastern Warp Gate, or to get into Crux, so small numbers ticking that down. The bare minimum of what Emerald is sending looks like the tech plant is being saved. In terms of territory, it's plummeted. The Briggs has dropped to, well, I say plummeted, it's really only 3 bases or 4 bases that they've lost. Still here? Char?
Yeah, I'm watching. I'm a bit involved in this Jaeger's fight, this Jagged Lance fight.
Yep, I'm gonna go over there and watch that then. I guess that's really what the fight is going on.
It's just a huge amount of VS on the fight.
I just watched Twitch chat, sorry. And then 2 minutes behind, but it's just full of witness me for when that harasser charged
But he
in.
didn't kill anything, he only killed his friendlies.
But that's what the war boys do, right?
He gets a gold star.
Oh, point is back in NC hands at Jagged Lance.
This is gonna be a bloodbath of a fight.
Gal drop. I mean, you're basically pushing up the most jaunty, weird, awkward angle. All your vehicles and stuff is exposed from the warp gate. Heck, I could Liberator shoot my belly gun from the warp gate and be safe.
They pulled Vanguards anyway to get between the warp gate and the base.
Yeah, in fact, they're firing rocket pods from the warp gate. And delivering from the warp gate.
Oh my god, the amount of gunfire, and it's very cinematic, I'll give it that.
I mean, if you're Briggs, counterplay them. Go for Shadespire. And they are actually going for Shadespire. And ARX. It's 50-50 Shadespire, and it's 50-50 ARX. And it's slightly overpop.
7 minutes remaining in the match.
Okay, so there's enough time to do this. If we check the timings of Lance, right? It's what, 2 minutes 50. ARX is 3 minutes 14, and Shadespire's actually being saved, right? So even if the other 2 bases were theoretically being captured, if Jagged Lance goes through, then it is going to be a cutoff. Yeah, if they get this, Briggs territory plummets to 0. Emerald doesn't actually get a continent capture though. Wow, there's actually some Briggs forces at Crux headquarters. They managed to fly in and make a save there. Yes, this is the only base that Emerald really wants though. Go for not just the warp gate touch, but the full warp gate capture.
Go big or go home.
Well, they don't even need to go big or go home. It's go big or bad manners into the grand finals.
Look at all the maxes they have on the roof of the building next to Spike. The PS can't see them. It's a huge PS Max crush and there's just 4 maxes above them. Look at that. Go to the Spike and you can see them all on the roof. That's amazing. But the VS haven't noticed them. There's just 4 maxes shooting down on them.
Well, that max.
Oh my god.
That is so many maxes.
They just want the HP so they can push to the point.
But they're only going through one.
That Fury Harasser's killing so many. They're Thunderaven. They're just dying by the droves. Oh my god. Look at the amount of it. Oh.
How are they not? They're going over one.
Confined space, a little space.
How many times have they done this?
Maybe they just really like running through enclosed spaces. It feels warm.
I mean, with all that AV and max capacity, you would crush that Sunder on the road and any harasser, right?
You don't want to go through concealed spaces for large numbers.
No, it's just a broad. I mean,
splash weapons can really damage you.
Man, that was brutal. And you've invested all the nanites you had left. 51 seconds to go here, and it's GG. And if you're Emerald, right, if you've got any vehicles left over, which they do, they have a few Vanguard. Well, no, never mind, I take that back. The vehicles on the extremities are getting picked off. It's that one Stealth Sunder. Check out the Stealth Sunder spawn option on the north side for the NC, hidden behind the rock area. That is key, because the Air Force, if they knew where that was, it would get nuked, because they're basically attacking everything else.
Sorry, yell chat, 1 max equals 1 Tony Abbott.
Well, this is it, guys. 15 seconds. You know what would be great around now? An orbital strike on the cap point. Give me an orbital strike on the cap point.
Yeah,
that would clear it up. Yeah.
EMP them. It's the same, I guess.
There you go. Boom. Cut off. That is a 71 to 0. Territory controls a bit delayed on the actual in-game API.
How many minutes left in the game? Because they still need to get a retake it.
3 minutes 38. They're not going to save it.
Yeah.
Shadespire theoretically, if it goes right now, but Black Shard's going to go through. Crux headquarters is actually a save. Tech plant's a save. Quati West Pass. Yo guys, we got extra bases. And they're going to get West Foothills as well, but it's not going to count!
It only decreases the emerald percentage, but it doesn't increase the break.
Yeah. Alright, we're going to check that one out. It's like, I think there's like, the emerald left, they put everyone in Jagged Lance Mine to get it. But yeah, Black Shard could be saved, but they'd have to fly from the warp gate in pretty dodgy numbers. Crux isn't going to go through. Looks like West Foothills Air Dock, they're getting some guys in. Valkyrie, Western Flank guys fighting here. It's Valkyries.
Yep, that's West Foothills gone through.
Alright, okay, so the West Flank did great, I suppose.
Didn't get Kvati in the time.
Yeah, okay, so I guess Black Shard's the next base to have a look at as we watch the last seconds of the clock tick down. Yeah, I think Briggs is just pretty much giving up. I mean, this is pretty much it. So I mean, Emerald guys, it is 2 minutes until it's confirmed official. They're going to be in the finals. Shadespire, big fight going on. Jagged Lance is a big fight going on. I guess no one's gonna come to Black Shard. No. Okay, we'll go check the warp gate out.
Well, I think all the bridges in the warp gate. Maybe they're planning some lust charge the Mohicans.
Yeah, I mean the fact is the Emerald Air Force is at the warp gate. What
They're
is
pulling a lot
okay.
of harasses.
There's a lot of galaxies coming at the warp gate.
Area is restricted.
All the Briggs are pulling harasses.
Harassers or gals? Have you seen the gals of the warp gate?
Harasses, a lot of harasses. They're pulling so many of them.
Where are the harassers right now?
Warp gate, they're just gathering up in warp gate.
Dude, look outside the warp gate, towards the south.
galaxies and harasses. There's millions of harasses on the ground. There's millions of galaxies in the air.
Okay, well, Galaxy
Oh,
Force
there's so many
assemble.
people in the air to
Gals
avoid
are going.
signals. Where are the harasses going? Okay, the harasses are going crooks. They're going down the main road towards Shadespire.
Where are the galaxies going? They're being followed by the NC galaxies. It's the galaxy off. 30 seconds. Let's just check the rest of the map. So, Tungsten Mine went through. Macalacart Mining's done enough time. NC Arsenal's going to go through. West Foothills doesn't have enough time. This is basically the final score. Yeah, nothing can be capped anymore.
Yep. 70-0 is the final score.
You want to give him a 10-second countdown?
Yeah. 10, 9.
Oh my god,
8,
all these harasses.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. End of match. End of match. Congratulations to Emerald for winning with 70% against Briggs' 0%. Emerald goes through to the final. Can we please have the Force Commanders in the interview channel? Thank you.
So, I mean, if you want to set a strong statement to either Miller or Cobalt, who are playing tomorrow, to the finals, this is about as good as it's going to be. I mean, because if we objectively look at how the map is picked in the finals, it's a veto map system. So, I can tell you now, Emerald is not going to play on Hassan. And I don't know what the selection for Cobalt is, but I don't think anyone really likes Esamir, so it's probably going to be a repeat on Amerish, probably, in the finals. So, I mean, you let Emerald pick their faction or their warp gate. If they get the southern warp gate, they feel, and they've done this before, they can crush the eastern warp gate with the approach. Justy, can you freeze the map? So, right now, guys, you give us 1 second. We're going to get the reps in the interview channel, and we're going to give me a second, I'll get set up.
Yeah, maps frozen.
Okay. Let's drop down and have a chat. Hey, guys.
There we go.
The skull.
Hey.
So, that was brutal. I mean, it was also a very strong statement by Emerald coming into the finals. Hey, look what we can do in Amerish. We'll leave it to the Force Commanders. Maybe you guys want to tell us how you feel the game went from your perspectives?
Briggs want to go first? I don't think Briggs is here.
Alright, well,
There's we're still waiting for the Force Commander from Briggs, it seems, but we have the rep at least.
Just drug the guys you need, guys.
Foley, why don't you tell us, from Emerald's point of view, how you felt the game went?
Here's Perks. Eagle Eye probably doesn't have talk.
Oh,
He's got
now,
it.
now I can talk. Must be nice, huh?
Y'all don't want to hear what he has to say, though.
And Perks, you have top bar.
Just. Alright, can you repeat the question, Farah?
We're just saying, just as kind of a broad overview before we get into more detail, how do you feel the game went? I mean, because we saw right from the get-go, there were some interesting opening plays, but Emerald got most of the large outposts at the beginning, and then it was just constant Emerald pressure the whole time. So, like, from your point of view, how do you feel the game went as the Force Commander?
I was honestly shocked that we got that many of the opening bases off the beginning. I was figuring we would trade 1 for 1, and we'd have to decide, you know, split second which one we would get. But I guess just the way the timings worked out, we got all the bases we were kind of looking for, and then, like you said, from there it was just we really stressed over the last couple of weeks at getting back to doing what we like to do, which is just constantly pushing the map. Like, always have timers going and just really push, and I thought we did a pretty good job of that. And then, you know, once we got, I want to say it was about 30 minutes in, and we were knocking on the biolab door, we were starting to set up how we wanted to go after the warp gate, as we decided that's what we were going for. So I thought it went well for us. I mean, obviously the score was reflected how we played, so it was still a good match though. I think our guys enjoyed it. I know Kalain came down and congratulated us, and he enjoyed it. I'm not sure if you guys are catching the stream right there, but there's a harasser race.
I'm watching a Briggs Liberator picking him off one at a time.
Where's the harasser race at the moment?
So from the Briggs' point of view today, obviously that was a maybe not a painful game, but I mean it was like small things, not firing on all cylinders. Do you think there was any one particular thing that kind of led to the loss today, or maybe more to it?
Well, yeah, definitely. We had a very, very complex plan for the initial 15 minutes, because we like to do this. And it was the first time we tried something like that. It could have worked, and we would have kept all the major bases, but obviously it was a complete disaster, and we lost all of them, so that's the explanation why Emerald got all of them. You maybe have noticed that they were not being engaged at all. So basically we had a lot of Galaxy backup, Galaxy recruitment points, and we dropped 100 plus people at the same time on the bases. But Emerald was just, I don't know, 15-20 seconds faster, so when we dropped they just gained pop in those hexes and were set up with maxes. And so it was really just, as Eagle already said, it was a thing of maybe 15-20 seconds where Emerald was a bit faster, and they were just too deeply tucked in with NC maxes. And even if you drop on the roof and try to get on point, it didn't work out. So our initial plan did not work out at all. That's the reason they got all the bases. So that goes down definitely to my planning. I might go public with the plan, then you can have a look at it. And yeah, there was one thing breaking our neck, was the loss of Amerish RRX. I think we had forces pulling out there too quickly. Once we flipped the point, otherwise we wouldn't have lost it, but that was I think, what obviously broke our neck at the warp gate. And then I just ordered all 240 people back to the next base, but it was already too late. No way we could get back to that.
I did notice how the western flank, the Soltech Gorge, Soltech charging station, they didn't give a crap about anything else going on. That was just a perpetual fight going back and forth the entire time. Do you know who your respective forces were for Emerald and Briggs on the western flank near Kwati area?
Yeah, for us it was RSNC and Tron. Our strong
and Chariot.
Yeah, and our harasser was.
We were 1TR, Honey Badgers, Suit, and DA.
So, I guess, and I suppose those guys can go have a chat with each other afterwards, because that's usually what happens with the play. But in terms of Air Force today, we did catch some of the air battling going on. We noticed that the Briggs probably set up shop on Ascent while slowly applying pressure. Sorry, Emerald set up shop on the Ascent. So from the Air Force's point of view, from our point of view in the camera, we saw it was mainly Emerald who had air control. Do you feel that was different? Wasn't the case? Do you feel that the enemy had brought more, maybe for the air leads to talk about?
Don't actually think the Briggs air lead is in the channel, is he?
I think ours is already asleep as well.
Okay, so to be confirmed.
From the Briggs point of view there, if you like.
Sure, go ahead.
In terms of rep managing, Emerald had a massive advantage in terms of air power right off the bat. Nearly half of the Briggs Air Force didn't show up. We had to sub in roughly 20 players, which was problematic.
Whoa.
That was where our main issues came from. But yeah, Emerald's air control, despite I think the excellent effort of BAM, seemed pretty constant throughout the match.
Our air lead just showed up.
No, we're still short Zesarov, our air lead. I don't know if he's around.
Well, the main problem in our high command was obviously AA, so you guys obviously had AA everywhere, so there were always complaints about AA nest on pretty pretty much every lane, so that was the biggest issue. Of course, the enemy airball was present as well, but that was not the big deal. The big deal was the AA spots.
We were expecting a lot of PPA spam like we have from Briggs before, and with that extra ping advantage, disadvantage, whichever way it goes, it's really hard to combat, so we put a lot of effort in making sure we had some good AA this match.
Yeah, it worked out, definitely.
Well, I guess that leads us into the next game, which we have tomorrow. So I'm sure anyone who was wanting to stay up late today, or maybe they'll watch the VOD, Cobalt and Miller will perhaps watch this. Emerald, you're through to the finals. Do you have any words for the potential rivals in tomorrow's semi-final game?
I hope they both lose.
Briggs, this is unfortunately you guys. It's elimination, so you're out. I guess commiserations are in order. I mean, it was well played. I suppose you have any kind of final words for Papa Emerald?
From the point of view of the server rep, we did our best. I think we put in a really good shot. We made it to the semi-finals, and ServerSmash has been a fantastic thing for Briggs. We're looking forward to it again. But by this point, roughly 2/3 of Briggs Primetime Pop has been involved in every ServerSmash. So this is as much of a community event for us as it could possibly be. We're looking forward to putting our best foot forward for the next season, and it's going to be great.
Yeah,
all I know now is that Briggs is currently stumbling. Skippy is currently stumbling towards the bar.
Congratulations to you, Emerald. You deserve it. Good luck in the final.
Yeah, thank you. Good game. It was really tough at the beginning, but it ended how it did.
Awesome. Well, that means it'll be an American versus EU final. So it'll probably be, obviously, on a Saturday around 2000 UTC. So I'm just going to leave you guys now. The next game for Emerald, in case you're wondering, is the finals, December the 5th. So you've got 3 weeks to prep. And tomorrow, when we know the results of the second semi-final, we can get together and we can do the double coin toss to decide map, faction, workgate, all that kind of stuff. So, well, I guess we'll see you guys maybe tomorrow for the game. And any final words between the Briggs and Emerald before we leave the room?
No, thanks for everything. It was a good match.
Cool, well, thanks so much, guys. And Emerald, we'll see you in a couple of weeks. I've lost Char in TeamSpeak. I can't find him. Where'd he go? Whatever. Can't find him. Right, guys, coming up next. We have ServerSmash 57. That is our second semi-final. That is Miller versus Cobalt, and it is not next week. It is tomorrow on a Sunday. So we wanted to have 3 weeks prep leading into the grand finals rather than 2 what we had coming into the first semi-final game here. So tomorrow is an all EU affair. It is the very dominant Miller, as we saw when they crushed Emerald in the previous game, which I'm sure Emerald is eagerly anticipating revenge. And Cobalt, who are the only team to have defeated Miller, is also playing. So that will be on Hossen. The Miller will be NC. Cobalt, I believe, are TR. That is tomorrow. That is the 1900 UTC start. So it's basically 7 o'clock UK time, 8 o'clock Europe, mainland. And that's, like I said, tomorrow. So do come in tomorrow. I'll be here casting with you as usual, and we'll see how that happens. And then the winner of that game will obviously go towards the grand finals and will play Emerald. How we pick the map and the faction and the warp gate is, we've decided, is a double coin toss with the map veto. So the first coin toss, the winner gets to decide whether or not they want to veto first or second. And then, so basically I win the coin toss, I decide I want to veto first, I get to pick a map I want to veto. So let's say I don't like Esamir, I want to veto Esamir. And then the second guy who vetoes says, well, you know what, I don't like Hossen, so I'm going to veto Hossen, therefore you play on Amerish. So that's how that works. And then when the map is selected, there's a second coin toss, and the second coin toss basically is for faction and warpgate, as is normally the case. So there's no seed advantage this time. So that means that... oh, I'm getting overlapping audio here. Sorry. That means that That means, sorry, I am getting distracted here. That means that, if it was an Amerish again, you wouldn't want to allow, for example, Emerald to be NC in the South Warp Gate, because they clearly show that they're quite strong when they go South Warp Gate as NC. So you would maybe perhaps pick the NC or you pick the Southern Warp Gate. So it's basically how the tactics and sides go. But we'll have 3 weeks after tomorrow, leading into ServerSmash 58, which will be the Grand Finals game for the 2015 tournament. We've asked some of the devs if they want to come in and check out, so, if they want to come hang with us in the pre-game show, that's kind of cool. We'll try and get something special for you guys for the finals game. And then at the end of the Grand Finals game, which we're kind of really, really looking forward to, we'll see whether or not we can get maybe like a decal or some extra stuff in. We've submitted the faction decals, the server team decals. We're waiting for them maybe to go through. Maybe we'll get a winner decal like we did for the 2014, but this is all subject to DBG doing it, so we're kind of asking them. And at the end of the ServerSmash 58, we'll talk about maybe the plans we have for the future, what we're thinking of maybe doing for the new year and all that kind of stuff. But for right now, our focus is on ServerSmash 57 and 58 tomorrow, and then 3 weeks from now for the Grand Finals. Really looking forward to Miller versus Cobalt, see whether Miller can redress their loss to Cobalt, set a dominant setting, say we are here to win, and then destroy Cobalt, or whether Cobalt can say, you know what, we beat you before, we're going to beat you again, we're going to go into the finals as defending champions, and then we're going to smash Emerald, because that's what's going to happen. So we'll have to be seen. So I guess there's nothing really else to say except from see you tomorrow, guys. And 1900 UTC, Miller versus Cobalt on Hudson.